Of course, I must give thanks and praise to the Creator for the ancestors who have paved the way for us all that died. Truly, Uncle Sid Award winner is live and direct, and this is a new day, 17th of August, 2019. And I'm here at the Rhythm of Life, the Reggae exhibition. And also, today is our first national hero of Jamaica, Marcus Messiah Garvey, heard strong today. So we give thanks and praise to the Creator. And also, we have making great history right here. We have the first reggae band in UK, out of Brixton, called the Niah Shuffle. We have two live members of the band, right? We have Papa Joel Van Brown, multiple instrumental, and also we have Russell, lead guitarist, right? So first of all, we give thanks and praise for them, and also thank Colin Robinson to put on the Rhythm of Life, the reggae exhibition. And music is love, and reggae music comes straight out of Jamaica, right? So give thanks, right? So first of all, Papa Joel, could you introduce yourself, please?
Hey, greeting to everyone, Jamaica, UK, all over the world. My name is Papa Joel Van Brown, yeah? First reggae band in English, England, UK. Come here, 1958. Start my band, 1964. Well, from 64 to 69, a lots of changes, a lots of things. Been to Africa, been to Italy, been to Germany. Come back, release Niah Shuffle, first record, 1969. Go back to Africa. When I come back from Africa, our producer die. All the tape disappear. I don't know what's going on. All the member disappear away from Russell, who keep contact with me. 6 years after coming here, 1974, I contact the drummer Green, the drummer that was in Niah Shuffle. And from that thing just changed. I start do my own thing under the name of Niah Shuffle, which you people will hear later on. So we talk again a little more.
Okay, before I go to Russell, how did you get to name the band Niah Shuffle?
Oh, the name Niah Shuffle come in because when I come to England as a young youth, only thing I could play is the boogie woogie, and it was a shuffle. True, I never go to school and study music, but I go to school and study how to play my keyboard. So all I could do is the shuffle. And the shuffle come from Fox Zamino and all those people who used to play boogie woogie music in those times, Louis Jordan, all those people. So the piano is just 3 notes, like G, C, D, G, C, D. Or if we're doing it in B flat, we go B flat, C, F sharp. You see? And that's how we start do the shuffle. So Niah Green now used to work into a garage, and them call him Niah. But he wasn't a Rasta. He was just some little natty on him head. So I say, all right, I'm going to mix that Niah now with the shuffle and call it Niah Shuffle. So we do Niah Shuffle with Green in the band. But before me get Green inside the band, our drummer get crazy in him head. So somebody told me that there's a drummer play in with a man named Gilly over in New Cross. So we send a message and him come down and me interview him. But we couldn't find no guitarist. So the only guitarist I could find, somebody tell me about a man named Paul Cruisedale when he did young, 18. So I send a message to him that I was working with British Railway. So I tell him to come. So him come and rehearse one time and him leave him job and him start rehearse till him leave him job. So him rehearse with way. And then me leave him and me go Italy. So when me come back, him in another band. So I get a guitarist named Clive Steadman and a bassman named Ivor Steadman. So the Niah Shuffle start kick from there. So but never lose contact with Ross Cruisedale. Him always there. Sometimes he come and play lead guitar in the Niah Shuffle. Sometimes him disappear. But the Niah Shuffle keep on until me go back to North Africa after my record with Joe Mancini and leave a tape in Dr. Bird's studio. Then when me come back from Africa after 1 year and 3 months, Joe Mancini take me tape them to Jamaica and give Bonnie Lee, and they start put other people on them to sing. And when I come back to England, after 1 year and 3 months, I see Joe Mancini. And Joe Mancini see me in a Finsbury Park, and so I should come and see him. But before I come and go and see him, he go back to Jamaica and him die. So all my tapes, them disappear. With an engineer, producer, I used to work in Dr. Bird's studio named Graham Goodall. So he take all my music to Jamaica, this Australian white man, and he married to a Jamaican girl. And him over there, so I don't know what happened to the tape them, but me hear all of my tapes them come back in England. And then other people start release them. So I say, okay, let me do something by myself. So I start do something and start release other music under the name of Niah Shuffle with Green keep coming to me and disappear. Paul Cruisdale come to me and disappear. But me keep continue. And now me reach a stage in life that me can stand on my own ground with the name Niah Shuffle because me invent it and the music live on.
Okay, thank you. More geography, because you refer back to UK, right? And you also said out of Brixton, the geography of Brixton. You said the first reggae band in UK out of Brixton. What is the history of Brixton, sir?
Brixton was the place that every musician that who come from Jamaica on a short terms, that's where them land. No, you did have a record shop and a barber shop, and all musicians used to pass with Larry Akins, Wilfred Edwards, Clancy Eccles, Owen Gray, and many more I can't think of at the moment. So everybody used to come to Brixton. But it's only one band in Brixton that play reggae, and that was Niah Shuffle. So they used to use us to do live show and use us to do backing track for them to sing on. Wish we never think of the glory of it. All we want is to be a musician. Sometimes we get paid, sometimes we don't get paid. So but most of the man them Niah Shuffle record with is Winston Groovy, Larry Akins, Clancy Eccles, Tony Tribe, Red Wine, and a few more I can't remember. Brixton was the place. There were no other reggae band in Brixton away from Niah Shuffle, 1964, going down to 69. Anything come after is between that.
Okay, you use the word 1964, but Jamaica was independent 1962.
Yes.
Right.
You remember, 64 was all right. You did get in guys that coming up from Jamaica sing, but there wasn't reggae singer. They were more like soul singer. The real reggae thing start coming in 65, 66, like Rico, Larry Akins, Prince Buster, which was the first black Jamaica artist ever go up on the radio and sing about fish and chips and all them things there. So all the artists, them used to come over here, but they used to work in All's Den, in Trojan. No, we never know who they are. But they were scout for Trojan.
That's a record label you're talking
Yes.
about.
Yes, so all the
company.
yes, so all these artists used to come to Brixton. And they used to heard about us. So some of the producers used to call us to go and record for them, which we never know that it would be history. But for the glory of it, we go. Sometimes we get paid, sometimes we never get paid. So that's why. And after that, there was a lots of other reggae bands spring up. But before 64, going right down to 66, everybody was playing soul music. You see, but it's only Niah Shuffle was playing reggae.
Was there any clubs around that time?
Yes, there were clubs around like Shubin. There was Shubin. There wasn't real clubs. The only club they did have going is the the Rowing 20, the Flamingo, those popular dance club. Q Club never on at that time. Palmer Club never on at that time. So they were never much. It's more or less the in the pubs, but we never play in pubs. We used to go outside, like with man like Lady Cox, and play for the white youth them outside of London. Is it?
Thank you for that. Russell, do I hear the history of our great Papa Joel Van Brown? And you are the one who played the lead guitarist, right? And the point is we don't know about the drummers yet. Yes? So could you share something about your experience as the lead guitarist?
Yeah, give thanks. It's not contradiction, but Papa said I was 18. No, I joined that group in 1967 when I was 17. And I played my first gig before I was 18.
Well done, sir.
I can't forget that. I played my first live gig. I remember even the venue, Jim Daddy, at the Oval. And I think Lady Coxon made his debut as a sound system then, or just start then. So the
when
whole
he was doing dub plate, was it?
No, just starting.
Okay.
All of we started together.
We have
in the same basement, yes. Just behind the Oval cricket ground. So I can't forget that.
Not far from Brixton.
And I remember the date as well, the 18th, Papa. The 18th of June, I played my first gig. I wasn't even 18 then because my first son was born on the 18th of June.
So you did a solo that day?
Not just that. I've always had the inclination to play like that. Coming up out of a family of musicians, really. My daddy, my grandfather, whole heap of cousins, uncles. I had uncles on both sides who had bands when I was growing up. So I really grew up around music, involved in music. So when I met Papa in 1967, it was a joy to leave railway work. Believe me, I was doing accountancy and all them kind of silly
That means
there.
it's like a teacher then?
Well, I always been.
Right.
I taught sisters, brothers. I grew up with all of my sisters, brothers and cousins. So I was a bit of a bully. So I was the one who sit them down for homework and thing. So when I met Papa, it was great because that's what I always wanted to do, what I grew up seeing the people around me doing. You know, my grandfather, my daddy, all my uncles, all my aunties, every one of them, they're musicians on my father's side, plus my mother's side, loads of musicians. So getting involved in Niah Shuffle was great for me. But like Papa said, he went off to Africa. Now, I was eager to learn more than anybody else, so I had to do other things. Among what are the things I did, I started a little band. And there was in my Landis, and there was no such music as Afro Rock when I was playing Afro Rock. We're not
That's
boasting.
something new to me, Afro Rock.
Well, I could name some of the people. One of the brethren who started with us, then Ray Carlos, and saxophonist. It's just coming out. So as soon as Papa got back from Africa, some nice stories and everything like that, Niah Shuffle again, I'm in there.
Did he bring a gift for you?
Yes, new rhythms.
Yes, that's all.
Papa brings some wicked rhythms because he didn't say it, but Papa Joel has always been a great percussionist, a great hand drummer, as well as serious things. So that as well inspired me because again, I grew up in West Kingston, by the way, and hearing the drums, feeling the drums, hearing that, yeah.
Okay, has he ever done any secret things what you want to share with us, what we don't know about?
Who, Papa?
Yeah, with the music, like any instrument, what never been done?
Yes. This might come as a surprise to you that I remember this, Papa. Your first son used to visit us at Hayter Road in Brixton where we rehearse, and you always put him to sit on the organ. I would never forget that. I think, was his name Junior?
Was it in a basement? Was it in a basement you practiced?
Yeah. I can't remember his name now.
My son?
Yeah, man. Leon was his name. You always have him sitting on the organ. I can't forget that. So that was nice. Because then it was Was it a C3, Hammond C3? Or Hammond's
No,
was, it was
M.
a...
M.
It was,
Yeah, it was a M.
M1, but wooden piece.
Yeah.
All them things impressed me as a young man getting in the business.
Double key.
So tell me something about I don't like the C and you said double double something. What does that mean? Double.
You could call it double shelf, double keyboard,
thank you.
organ with, you know, all the trimmings, like the drawbars to give it the tone, and, you know, the rotary speaker cabinet and all that, and a lot of things. I don't think we needed to play the foot pedal then, because we had bass players and things like that.
So I'm gonna move a bit forward. When you did like when you play live, do you ever get nervous, or you plan what you're gonna play?
Oh, you must get nervous. I mean, if you don't get nervous, you're not playing music. I've never played music and don't get nervous before. And if you don't get nervous before, you're not going to perform well.
Who take the lead in the band?
And Niah Shuffle, well, the band, the repertoire was organized. Like Papa Jawal was the arranger. When I told Papa once that you used to teach me to play chords, he tried to deny it. I'm telling you, you used to teach me, you one of the band who teach me to play the guitar. Because I was so young coming on.
Did
and
you
they
love
were,
that instrument?
Oh, the guitar?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I must do, with so many members of families playing instruments, you know. I'm talking, like Uncle Teddy was one of the greatest banjo players I heard. My uncle Peter had 2 guitars. He wouldn't give me one, and I hated him. Now I have probably 100 guitars, and I wouldn't let anybody touch one, let alone give one.
Do you name them?
No, I don't, funny enough.
Okay.
And, you know, you just got instruments at the time. If one is misbehaving, I kind of...
So how do you keep the records, what you do, you know, when you make the first recording, how do you share it amongst the group when you did the first recording? Who responsible for the tape?
Well, we don't. Papa was running all that side. Papa was running the band. This is what he's saying. He formed the band, he organized the band, organized the repertoire, you know, manager and thing. I didn't know much. I know I met Joe Mancini, we go to there, but I didn't have anything to do with that.
Did you have many followers?
I think so, many among skinheads. If you can, yeah. I remember the big boot boy there, yeah. Isn't it? The big boot boy them. And, you
So
know,
what year were you talking about?
well, I joined the band in 1967.
Well done, okay.
I joined the band in 67. But for me, the whole thing was, it's because I wanted to do it so much from a baby, from a youth.
It's in your blood. It was in your blood.
Yes, put it that way, but I wasn't allowed to do it.
But your schoolwork was important.
Exactly, and coming home early was important, and music was a late night thing when I was growing up. I used to sneak out and go out to Silver Slipper. I used to go to Silver Slipper and a joke up Slipe Road, Blue Jug and Price Street.
So who protect you when you get there?
Nobody protect me. Go at night. Everybody gone to bed. Me jump through the window and then play. But then,
but you still was
King Song was not like that.
So tell me, when you leave your home, are you still well behaved when you leave home?
Also because I want to learn. Okay. I want to learn because I wanted to learn. You wouldn't believe this. I remember a Pentecostal church at the corner of Price Street and Meyer Street. I used to climb the tree just to be able to look in, and never going.
And you don't carry no company with you?
No. Up to today, I've always been a loner.
Right, okay.
I've always been a loner. I used to climb the tree. I wouldn't go in, but I could look down into the church and watch this man play the guitar. Okay. So it's a thing that I wanted to do.
Okay, the next thing I want to know, because, you know, for somebody, like say you have a band, and I don't know if anybody asks you to be in an orchestra. If you got to be in an orchestra, you have to know to read music. So what would happen if you didn't understand music and they call you to play in an orchestra?
Yeah, you can play from charts. Okay. Fortunately for me,
thank you for that.
You can play from charts. You just write out the chords like Papa say, and you can follow the tunes that way. In fact, it's better to do that today in the music we do. You work from charts, like jazz. We work from charts. Fortunately for me, with the daddy I have on the background, I learned to read music early. I say fortunate because I can do other things. In fact, today, before I come out, I went on the internet and bought a piano score for a piece of music I want to learn. But growing up the way I grew up, and with my daddy trying to teach me piano, I couldn't make head or tail of it. It just couldn't happen. This is in Milan. And seeing all, you know, my aunties and all of them, they put out their music and they play from score and things. That influenced me. But even though I'm going to say it's not essential to read music to play reggae, I find it helpful for certain things that you want to do in music, but you don't have to read well, by reading I mean play the dots. You don't have to do that really. You can learn the chords, particularly what you're trying to play, but
Okay, my question to you: back in the days, people would be looking forward to see a live band, but today it doesn't happen. People have to get different band to when they're doing a session. But did you do a session with any other artists from your group? Would you take bookings as a group to play with other members?
Oi, ask me that question again.
I said, as a group, would you also go and back other singers away from not your group getting the job?
Yeah, we do it many different times. Yes. Lots of the famous original singers that tour UK in the early 60s, we all back them.
Well done.
You call name, we all back them.
Larry Akin?
Even Larry Akin's, I have so many songs with Larry Akin that if you want proof, they're all on the CDs. They're all on my MP3. Wayne Gray also. Clancy Eccles.
Edward?
That cost Wayne Gray to run or come to England.
That is history.
The one-eyed giant, what name again? The one-eyed giant, man.
Can't
yes, man. One of the Rocksteady singers. And you name the Rocksteady singers, we do them. Winston Groovy, that was a good singer. Tony Tribe. So we do all those things. So we back other artists away from our own sound that make them to be established.
Okay, how did you go about choosing all the instruments what you have? Because you tell me how many guitars you have. So what about you now? Being you use a multiple instrumentalist. How many different instruments you play, sir?
Before I mention that, the first original red wine
You're joking. I love that song.
Ever played in England, done by a Canadian mixed race guy named Tony Tribe. We done it in Wembley Stadium, live on stage, amongst Jimmy Cliff, doing Many Rivers to Cross. We done that. Niah Shuffle done that, yes? Anyway, instruments, no, we go back to that. By choosing all instruments, my first instruments when I was young, 8 years of age, was a bomb flute I make and play it like this.
So what's the difference between a fife and a flute?
A fife is sideways.
Thank you for that.
And a flute is like this.
Thank you, sir.
I started from flute, then motor organ, then after coming to England, start flute, motor organ, ukulele, 4-string, we make that.
Is it like banjo?
Yeah, we make that out of shingle. And then come to England, more expensive motor organ, and then keyboard. And after keyboard, melodica.
I don't heard that one before.
You see, melodica is the one that you play, that is the Pablo God play.
Oh, yes.
And then after that, I took saxophone up, but it messed up my teeth. Then I start to learn those things on my keyboards. So I play about...
So would you say that's the organ?
Yes, my keyboard is the organ. I'm an organ.
Yes.
And then synthesizer, that one that give all these 100 and different kind of sound. A synthesizer, synthesizer can play strings, any different thing.
Okay, something come to mind. You know, they are telling that computer can give you drum beat. No, it's a reason why I'm saying. So you could know the difference if somebody use a computer, drum, organ and everything like that. How would you detect it, sir?
By the way of the sound. You see, because when you play the sound and you put your ear on, you have that touch that coming from inside you, and you feel that rich sound. The computer sound very clear, and it don't have no depth. It's very clean.
The timing.
Yes, the timing is precise. It doesn't make no mistake. But you haven't got the depth that touch you inside.
From the heart.
Yes, you haven't got that.
So you don't have time to let no diaphragm.
Yes. That's the computer deal with you. That's how the computer sound. Now, between the reggae, if you want to get rich reggae, the bass have to be natural. You can use a computer drum, but you have to put another drum, live drum on it to get that punch, like either a snare or a bass. Computer is just tap. You can use that for the hi-hat. For the bass, you want a natural bass. You can get it on a computer, but it sound too false.
Okay,
you know, get no ear
something
pressure.
come to mind now. When they say go back to the bridge, when I say this thing, I say go back to the drink.
bridge.
Is it a chorus?
The bridge is a change. You go back to the bridge and then you have either a chorus or a melody.
Is it a rest the musician?
No, that's how the music arranged.
Oh, thank you for that.
Check it like James Brown said. Take it back to the bridge. Tap, 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 tap. That's the bridge. That's the punch.
Okay, you know, when you in a group, is it always together? Is it always there's somebody want to come away from your ideas? Or
Yes,
sorry.
Because every man is want to be a leader. And true, every man want to leader and want to push in his idea. Now, if his idea fit with what you're doing, it can work. But if it doesn't fit, it doesn't work. It take the music on a different level. So that's not what the leader want the music to sound like. So that man have his own idea. Okay. So only way you can counteract that, meet him halfway.
Okay, you know, when you do a live thing at the studio, right? And you know, modern technology, you can piece it together. Back in your days, they couldn't piece nothing. No. All right, explain that to
so
us,
in our days, if you make a mistake, you have to go over it until you get it right. So it takes longer to do. In this age,
that was reel to reel.
That was reel to reel. If you make a mistake, you either go over it or keep it. Because if you keep it, then you have to go splice the tape, take out the mistake, and then splice back the tape together.
You have to be a good engineer.
Very good engineer and very good technology. Now, this age, you just cut it and loop it.
Okay. You know how...
I wanted to say something on the same score. You find that by virtue of not being able to afford making a mistake, we produce better quality musicians, particularly when we recorded on less number of tracks.
Got you.
8 tracks produce better musicians than 32 tracks. Because you got 32 tracks to make a mistake or and then skip that over, bounce them back on a thing, and it sounds like you got some fantastic musicianship. When it's not true, you get the great musicians when you get, say, a 19-piece Scatterlights recording on 8 tracks. When your solo done, it done, and you got to be on cue. The next man got to come in on time. They can't afford to keep going over that and
what
over that.
What about the vocalist now?
The vocalist, he's probably singing on the drum track. I'm telling you, everybody's live
if
taking...
you make a mistake, don't the drummer roll him back in?
No, you miss it. You miss it. Nowadays, a man can dub you out. Nowadays, you couldn't do that. You dub him out, you dub out the drummer.
So he was very professional.
You had to, well, not just professional, proficient as well. You had to be really sharp and know your things. The greatest thing about that is that you had to get together before. Nowadays, man, just meeting at the studio, you give him a chart and then play some little funky thing and call it reggae. It's not, you miss that social aspect. You miss the aspect where you get together, learn the tunes inside out, till when a man, and them there we used to smoke enough ganja. All right. So when a man high, him don't run, him hear better, him see better, him feel better, and the thing nice, it's so nice that... Yeah, you can't do that today.
What I would like to ask you, these days them have modern time, they can level the thing. So how want to keep the levels?
Well, you don't get that. If you listen to, I wonder if we can say old recordings. Which recording can be? If you listen to it, you can hear the variation in volume, variation in dynamics, variation in everything. You hear a man make a mistake and you laugh. It sounds like a new thing. And you can hear all of that going on. But then the final thing now, the mix And the mastering can correct a lot of things. You gate out something. Gate means cut out some things. And mute,
So when it's too long for the record or the thing, could you have cut out the best part?
No, not like you can today. Today, I've seen it particularly with my own children. Not children, my big people now who play music. They're doing, say, the rhythm track here, and they have a man in Jamaica voice. Many of their things, a man in Jamaica voice it, send it to them by the modern thing, and they put on the voice and the man who's next door with the type of equipment they have. Similarly, they say, yeah, we're going to so and so and so. I'm likely to meet, say, Papa over there. I want him to put on some drums. And they don't even walk with the full thing. They walk with a couple pieces of the track. On a little thing like this, and the man put it on and then enhance it and they do all the thing. But when you're talking about 8-track record, and even 16-track, you haven't got the room for that. Okay. You can't do it. You got to know your thing.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you from technical question. How many track make a album? Because some album have more. How do you back in the days, when you buy a album, you have a B-side. So these days when they do an album, how many record is called an album, please?
Oh my gosh. In these days, modern time right now,
sir.
when you do an album, no, you have to refer your question. You're dealing with the CD or vinyl.
No, you could do it anywhere you are.
All right, with a vinyl, you can get 16 track.
Yes.
You can get 8 track on one side,
yes,
and 8 track on the other side. If I supposed to do an album, what I would do 2 vocal, a dub track with some other different instruments, 2 more vocal, a dub track with some voicing, and then do 2 more vocal mix over. And the same things would do it on the other side, but when on the other side you put other vocal on it in this modern time. In the early days, you do 3 track, 3 and 4 track. You do 3 track on one side and 4 track on the other side. So you have the master track with the vocal. You have an instrument track with vocal mix in and out. And you have a next track with a different vocal, but it's the same track, and the next track with 2 vocal. No, that's how you can make an LP. But that means that all the people, the members in the band, put the voice towards the tracks. So that is the band.
And then how do you go about naming the album?
Well, that is easy. That is so easy as a shame, because you can be walking down the road to catch a bus, yeah? And you get late, and when you come across the road and a car just hold a brake, and we can call it brake.
But with that track on it's called brake on the album?
Just that one track we call brake.
Right, thank you. Okay.
You see? Then you can name the album We Late.
Okay.
You see, just like that, just like any name that just come up that fit what happening in the rehearsal room.
Like you leave Jamaica,
yeah,
and you come to England in Brixton and make an history in Brixton. What is some of the history you did in Jamaica?
My history in Jamaica as a fisherman. This is personal. Through me a fisherman, my father is a pilot and a wharf injured. When me mean a pilot, in piloting the ship, the banana ship in to come and dock, right? So we are his son. So we have first privilege of going out to the ship and talk to the sailor and get some food and different.
But did you learn to swim?
I'm a swimmer, man. I'm a fisherman. So hold on there now. Time get hard. Me and my brother arguing in the yard. And I cut some RC.
You was talking to him?
Yeah, me and my brother argue, of course. Because him chop up my girl's shoes. And I feel say I shouldn't cut up my girl's shoes.
By accident?
No, because my girl give me more food than him. And him jealous. So I cut up my girl's shoes, so we start arguing, we cuss bad out, yeah? A DC man a pass and here we argue and come through the other Backerman place and say, hey, Van Brown, I heard you cursing, I'm taking you to court. And the man...
How much him charge you?
Hold it. The man take me a court, and me have to go to court. And me say me nah go to court. And the morning, me I go see 5 o'clock, 5:30, the DC man ride down a yard, down at the fish, the beach, and give me a summons.
Know where to find you.
Yes, give me a summons, because I'm a fisherman. So I say, I got a court coming on the money. So the next week a ship come. And through me a fisherman, I know the sailor, then me just go up on the ship and work me way up, stowaway. Come up out of the ship when the ship leave Port Antonio and pass in 80 and stowaway to England. Don't ask me how old me is, because I go tell you. So when me come to England, the immigration say, you have family? Me say, yes. You hear this, you know? And me have my motor gun and me play it in the prison. So me do me 30 days. So them set up an immigration officer to keep me in the country because me have family and we are British subject. Yeah? So when I come out of jail, the man say, give me that motor gun, man. You can buy a next one when you go outside.
So why was it so special to them, your instrument?
The prisoner want me motor gun, so me give it to him. So when me come out, me buy a motor gun. So me kids still play me motor gun. So me go to Sheffield and I work. That's how me meet this guy who opened that club down on Liverpool Road. What's his name again?
Sir Washington.
No, the black guy where they opened the club where Joe Young used to play.
What
The club. Can somebody in the area and remember me? The black guy who opened the club on Liverpool Street. Ken Booth. That's how we met Ken Booth in Sheffield. And he's on the black man we see in Sheffield. And he used to dance. And we used to,
known as Admiral Ken, the sound
yeah,
system.
and we used to dance with him. You see?
Would you like to add something, sir?
And the depths they are at the moment, just
Yeah.
for me to come and add bits of that. I'm thinking of the first reggae band
Yeah.
ever played in England.
So you ask me a question, so me answer your question. So me I tell you how me reach her, right? So that's how me reach in England. And then me come to London and me start playing my harmonica and start playing my music. You see?
What was the first song you wrote?
First time what?
So first song you wrote?
The first song I wrote is Move Your Hand, I Cannot See, oh yeah. And that released on a London Atlantic label. Me and the backing singer from Desmond Decker, name him call him Rassai, but him name was those days Barry
Barry,
from Jamaica. I think you know him.
Yes.
Barry Howard. No, we actually grew up together.
You see that?
Yeah. Barry Howard.
He's in the making here.
Barry Howard and his brother James. James who did they got a home up above. It's called Paradise. The people go. Now Barry Howard was one of the greatest wicket-keeper batsmen I ever saw.
Sportsman.
Brilliant. What spoiled Barry's cricketing career was 007. I remember when they were rehearsing that tune. Whatever. And I remember talking to Barry about that at the academy. And funny enough, this was the last time I saw Delroy Wilson as well.
Sure.
And Barry was watching on the big screen backstage Jeffrey Dujan making 147 for the West Indies. Barry cried because I remember
He could have been there.
I remember his daddy, Jeffrey Dujan's daddy, used to put money on the wicket for us to bowl at him, but I couldn't do that. And Jeffrey was just watching. Jeffrey can't bat like Barry Howard. Jeffrey can't keep wicket like Barry Howard. I'm telling you that. That's what I see. That's what I know. So you're talking about serious things.
So you're telling me that music go along with sports?
Especially that time,
Of
yeah.
course.
What else could we do?
What
else did we have? What did we have?
And those people come support
What
the
did we
Jamaican things. Them. Those people come to England. They were working. They were growing up. They were missing the culture. So the music that we younger people were doing bring joy to them because they were all in our age group.
Can I ask you a question? how you lot survive at a young age? Is it the Jamaican culture, please, or the way grow in the village, look after or the part? How do you get this inner self?
I hear you.
And spiritual.
I hear you.
To do your pain or your love in the music, please, in your own way.
Is the way our parents brought us up in the country in Jamaica, and we end up into a foreign country, and we cannot forget. So we end up cooking for ourselves, paying our rent, finding our girlfriend, because there was a lot of white girl them days. There was no black girl in the country 1958, 59. They were all in proms. Trust me, baby, they were all babies to me. I know, I can tell you, the black girls them never grew up until 1972, when they were teenagers. Anyway, so it was girls dancing, cooking, eating, playing our music.
What about saving money?
We never think about saving because we couldn't get no job. You did younger than me. We couldn't get no job. There was no job. We're getting 30 shillings a week. No, £3 a week from the labor exchange. If they send us for a job, the labor exchange give us a paper to go for the job. We travel from Brixton to Wood Green or sometime to Tottenham.
To work?
We go up on train.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't pay.
You shouldn't say that.
Yeah, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Because we broke and we go for the job.
Okay.
When we reached the job and we go and the man told us that, sorry, the job gone. So that's why we just go back to music. That's the only thing that keeps us happy.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap up now.
Yeah.
Russell.
I was gonna say something on the same point, which is I'm going to what we said earlier. Those days, musicians had to live together in order to cope. Today, a man can buy synthesizers and computing equipment, sit by himself.
And do.
That's why the music is so poor in England. What they're playing,
no taste,
and depth. That's what I mean by poverty. Meaning. Well, depth's different meaning, and it means something that is extraterrestrial to your culture as well. But when you live together, having to work together, and like we talk about recording on 4-track, 8 tracks, you had to practice together. That is gone today. As you call a man today, sometimes him don't know A different from B.
Or C.
How much you pay me? I'm not come out, I'm yard. Sometimes what him have called guitar, by goodness, I wouldn't give that to my cat to play. Nah, say nothing. And him want big money for it. But them days there, when you say to a man, brethren, it's just one dumpling for you, because Uncle see that come later.
You leave his share.
You have to. You understand? And him come, and first thing before him touch it, him ask you, everybody eat? Him ask you that before him eat. Everybody eat or who not eat yet. And that is gone today. You see a man coming with him Chinese or him Indian. And never eat him one thing no more. Him not have that in a little bag by himself in a corner. And him eat that. Then him done with him dirty fingers. It's a different thing now.
All right. At this time, I'm going to give thanks to Mr. Colin Robinson. To getting us together on this special day. Marcus Messiah Garvey making history. He's the first national hero, and now we are here live and direct and talking about what you did in history. Thank you both so much. Any things you want to say to the younger one out there, the young generation?
Yes. Listen to this message, yeah? I don't know. See, like God make me special. Because my sister, them live in a Marcus Garvey house. And this is real. Auntie, Sister Anna and Sister Patsy. And when I go down to Jamaica, I bury my father in 1964. I end up sleeping in a Marcus Garvey house, and I bring back some rockstone, some crystal from the backyard. I never know that I was making history. So right as you know, Papa Jawal, I tell you, say, Marcus Garvey is one of the greatest, and I have a photograph of I posing with Marcus Garvey statue in Montego Bay, in St. Anne's Bay. So anybody need a copy, I can pass it on. And you see, it's real thing me I talk about. The last time I go down a Bay, Montego Bay, St. Anne's Bay, is about 5 minutes from Marcus Garvey house, me go to get some paper, re-sign for me my female friend to come to England, but it never work out. But give thanks to this day and bless up Marcus Garvey and bless up Niah Shuffle and bless up Ross Cruisedale and bless up Uncle Sid and bless up Papa Jawal Van Brown and bless up the people who hear this. Give thanks.
Okay, to you.
History. It's only now we can look back to, and all of this is preached now about the changes in Europe in the late 60s, particularly 1968 in Paris. Niah Shuffle was at the forefront of that. We changed the music, we changed the time people were going out. When we were going out, the white man them was coming in. We was going out at 11. White man lock up and go home. That is a change. Another change that we brought this country in terms of history was that milk was left on people's doorstep. We changed the scene from the glass bottle to the plastic bottle, because when the white boy them was chasing us, the bottle was bomb. We used to use that. And those are significant cultural changes. Another important change, they never used to wrap bread. When you go to the bakers, we wouldn't take it off the counter till them wrap it, even though a newspaper them use. But we bring that change.
Okay, on that note, I'm gonna Uncle Sid, the award winner, saying thank you, but we're gonna thank Mr. Colin Robinson to put this thing together, and we're gonna do more. And thank you so much, right? I salute you both. Yeah, give thanks. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, greeting. Today is Saturday the 17th of August 2019. Right, I'm one of the creators. Uncle Sid and Carl is here as a creator. And today it is 17th of August. Also Marcus Messiah Earth Day. Right, so we're here with Carol. And could you say your name, please?
My name is Maureen.
Yes. Okay. What, Maureen, thank you to come to celebrate us today at the Rhythm of Life, the reggae exhibition. From what we did this day, like starting from the culture, like from Nani, could you give us some take on it, please?
My memory is not very good, but as I can remember, we were talking about Nani and about like Bob Marley and the musicians, yes, and how far as Jamaicans, where music started and where it is. And in my days as a child, I mean, we wouldn't go to dance because, you know, as Jamaicans, we're strict Christian, whatever. So I'm glad I came today, coming all the way from Camberwell. This is a day which I really love and appreciated it. So that was very good.
Right. As we was going through, and we have the houses now where people used to live, like the thatch houses.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, thatch houses in Jamaica. I mean, I born and grew in Jamaica, and in those days, thatch houses, if you should go to Jamaica now, you wouldn't see them. And that will always be a part of my memory until I leave this earth. So thatch houses doesn't exist in Jamaica anymore.
So was the thatch house was with wall daub, yeah? What about the shingle house now, with the board house now?
Well, shingle, I think it's a bit different now, because going back to Jamaica is concrete now. And you don't really have, even poor places in Jamaica, you don't really have thatch. You might have shingle house and stuff like that. Cause I grew up in a shingle house anyhow. So.
All right. What about the culture food, like what we was talking about?
I love my yard food, right, and I don't eat English food, to be honest. I love my yard food, which I cook my own food and stuff. I love my ackee and saltfish and my fritters and stuff, because that's my culture and that's part of me, and I wouldn't give it up.
Carl would like to ask you something.
Mm-hmm. So, first of all, Maureen, let me thank you for coming, for sharing with us this absolutely fantastic Rhythm of Life, mm-hmm, the reggae exhibition. Yeah. And you know what you're seeing. Can I have some? How do you feel about what you've experienced coming here today?
Well, I feel good. To be honest, it takes me back to Jamaica. Yes. Because it's the first I ever come to anything like this, and it just uplifts me. And even when I go to church tomorrow, I might say, wow, and explain to Jamaicans who are there about today. So I really, really appreciate it. And it's just good.
Yes. And how do you feel? Because I can see you're glowing.
Yeah.
Tell us how you're feeling.
Because
give me a little bit more information about yourself, because I know that you've experienced some of the artists and, personally growing up in Jamaica.
Well, to be honest, I met Bob Marley. And as I was saying, it's a pity in those days I didn't have camera to really take a picture with me and Bob Marley. So, and I mean, in Jamaica, like the Kumina and stuff like that, those are music that I grew up with. And nowadays dance, I don't really listen to them, to be honest, and that's me, because we all have a choice and what. So, but I mean, Kumina and stuff like that, I love them. And when I remember them, I just shake myself.
Yes. You shared that you have some experience with Trenchtown area?
Oh, yes.
Can you share with us a little?
I used to live in Johnstown with my mom, because my mom came here in 1964, and she left from Johnstown to come here, and I used to spend holiday there with her. Because, we get 6 weeks holidays. Yes. I would go Kingston and that. And we used to go from Johnstown, cross over to Trenchtown, and then go down by Spanish Town Road, Maypen Cemetery and stuff, and that, yeah.
So coming here, as it revived some of that knowledge that you had, some of that, growing up back in those days, seeing the photographs of the artists, and some of these ones you might have seen.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And just come here and see these things, it just bring back, it's refresh. Excellent. So the memory just come back and stuff like that. And just looking at like the ladies with the donkey, and we have donkey here, but I don't really go and touch them like in Jamaica. You would touch the donkeys and stuff. And it's just something to live by and remember where we're coming from.
Excellent. And what are you going away from here today? What are you going to share? What are you going to tell your friends? Are you going to talk about what you've seen, or, would you actually recommend them coming to see this?
Yes, I will. Funny enough, my neighbor, she's from Trinidad.
Yes.
And I said to her I was coming here today. And I have a friend who is from Sierra Leone. So when I go back, I'll say to them what I experienced here today and stuff like that. And they will be saying, we're glad you went. Excellent. And you have a good day.
Excellent. And you will come back and bring your friends. Yeah?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Maureen, I can see you are in your Jamaica things. But tell me something, the ladies, them have a tie, the tie what they normally wear back in a traditional tie. Can you remember the name of it? Okay, all right, skip that one. Okay, take me back to your school day when you used to go to school. Before
you're talking about, I'm 69 now. You don't expect me to remember that. Celebration. Okay, when we have the first independence, 1962, right, and we went to school, I think we get a bit of bun and cheese. I think we get some milk powder with syrup, and a cup and a pen or something like, and the flag.
Yes,
so I remember those. Yeah, exactly.
So when talking about independence, we're 57 now.
Yeah.
Right. So what is some of your great memory you'd like to pass on to the next generation?
My great memory of my days, how we used to go to school, and after independence, and we used to, as I was saying this morning, we used to wear our school pathway, and then we take it off and hide it. Sometimes we could not find it when we coming back. And then when we reach school late, the teacher, he stand up on a chair, because it was very short, and he would beat us. And we have this thing that we call courage, which itch you. We used to rub it in our hands, and although we get the beating, we still feel, but we used to feel like children.
Yes.
Okay, what I'm going to ask you about our national dish, right? We have a national bird, the swallowtail hummingbird, our national dish now.
Our national dish is ackee and saltfish, which I like it.
Of course, I must give thanks and praise to the Creator for the ancestors that paved the way for us all, and this is a new day, the 17th of August.
Start again. This pen. Do you need your pen? Oh, you can need that. Perfect. Start. Okay.
Of course, I must give thanks and praise to the Creator for our ancestors that paved the way for us all, that I truly Uncle Sid, and this is a new day, the 17th of August. And also today is Marcus Messiah Garvey birthday, and I have a special artist here at the Rhythm of Life, the Reggae exhibition, to share his story, scratulous, reset the mind. Could you share your journey, sir?
Well, it's a pleasure, and thank you for the beautiful introduction. First of all, I want to say big up Colin Robinson and our dignitaries, Mr. Phillips, the photographer, whole Marcus Garvey, Messiah Garvey, Earth-strong connection. It's gold, the waves and the breeze. Where you say, Marcus? The things them coming out the breeze. And I saw it said, you know. So anyway, we're here live in London, BBMC London, with a big reggae exhibition showing our story to the children and the world, you know. Because it's very important for our children to have this. So I'm going to start with a song. They only mention history, teach the children our glory, in the schools and universities, as it was written in prophecy. Well, this is the reality. From scratulous reggae and Kalonji, Marcus Messiah Garvey, they renamed our countries, our cities, rivers, and gave us their name. They copied our music, our culture boom, and they took the fame with mythical stories and fairy tales to push their agenda. With guns and missionaries, they spread propaganda. So-called scientists, historians said the world was flat. We knew the world was round, and that is a fact. And now our scientists, historians that revealed the story. It's time to reset the mindset and claim our glory. Well then, they only mention history, we teach the children our glory, we in the schools and universities, as it was written in prophecy. Marcus Messiah Garvey.
Okay, you just talk about story. So you work with Sizzler, our story. So she and also your daughter Empress Reggae. Could you also, and kid us, hi? Right. So, could you share your journey with them?
Well, about 7 years ago, I left London to go to Jamaica to do some musical works. So with jazz spirit and the energy and everything, the enthusiasm and the love and the encouragement, I ended up in a place in the yard with likes of Earl Chinna Smith and Styles Scotts and Namba Robinson and Sticky and the whole international musicians, and Ras Michael too, Sons of Negus, and they were there to give me this burning encouragement, very harsh encouragement, with me and my daughter Empress Reggae. Seeing the viewers can Google up our story, and you'll see the history and the story. Remember, it's not his story, it's our story. Seen? And anyway, as the journey come through now, Uncle Chinna, as I call him, Chinna Smith, we're in the studio every day, rehearsals every day, and we're performing on stages like Trenchtown, Rock and Dennis Brown Tribute, and then we leave from Jamaica and go to Gambia with the likes of Honorable Julius Garvey, Mota Baruka, Renika Rashidi, my daughter Empress Reggae, Sizzler Kalonji. And the journey is coming on and on and on and on. At the moment I'm in London, ready to release my vinyl single, them Woman Wants a Loving with a little reggae. A little bit of loving goes a very long way. Whether in the night or whether in the day, sometimes we have to work, but we must have to play. So we want to big up in the yard family, you know. Kiddos and Kush, Bopi, Bubbler, the whole family, you know the whole thing. I want to take time to big up Judgment Yard, Caveman, the whole family, big up my daughter Empress Champion Reggae, and big up the whole reggae exhibition family too.
Okay, how did you inspire your daughter Empress Reggae, and how her name come about, Empress Reggae?
First of all, I'd like to say that name is on her passport. So my daughter, we went, as I said, in 6 years we went to Jamaica. I took my daughter with me, and she was about 8 years old them time there. So we had the same song, Our Story. So my daughter's homeschooled.
That's with you on Sizzler?
Yes, my daughter's homeschooled. So it's natural for her. She's always been around me. She used to come to the studio, like you see my son and my family. I bring them, I encourage them to come around me. Because I'm a very, I think that you put the children in the right environment, and things will flourish. I'm a very big believer in that. If you put the children in the right environment, they will pick up things. You understand? And you're just there to guide them. So anyway, my daughter's there, and we're in the yard, the same in the yard, and then that was a Tuesday. On Thursday, she's on the stage with Marcia Griffiths and blessed Judy Boyott, and she's singing, and everyone they take the whole vibe, you know. So we're there amongst Kidosai, and we're performing like, you know, live band rehearsing every day. You understand? And we're seeing other thing. You understand? We end up on the TV in Jamaica. We do all kind of interview with Mood Faruka, etc. What if I think, you know?
And then reset the mindset.
Yes.
How that come about?
Well, the reset the mindset. That's what really brought me to the fore. Still, it's the 3 words. The president in Gambia at the time, Mr. Yahya Jammeh, said that those 3 words would take me over the oceans and brought down the barriers for me. That was in 2011, because I've been to Gambia 3 times. So that's the first time I visited, and he called me for that song there, Reset the Mindset. So the words, as he said, they carry. Remember to teach the children education, wisdom, awareness is divine. And it's mind over matter, not matter over mind. We have to reset the mindset of mankind and womankind and cleanse their minds. Rastafari blessed, Scatulus, Kidosai, nah, guess it. 1 verse. We have to reset the mindset of the haves and have-nots and reset the hands of Babylon watches and clocks. We have to cut through the obstacles and remove the blocks. But when you're fighting for justice, beware of the plots. We have to reset the mindset, north, south, east, and west. Cause enough of them are suppose, and some still I guess. We have to reset the mindset of the poor and oppressed. Teach them wisdom, education, King Selassie, I bless. We have to reset the mindset. Oh.
Okay, some of the things that I never get to ask, you want to share with us before we let you go?
Yes, man. Well, it's been a pleasure being here, and it's a pleasure. I have to emphasize the word pleasure, because our works is pleasurable works. You know, we do these things every day, and I'm so happy to be part of this whole setup here, and we're looking to take it worldwide too. So the people that might watch this, you know, the whole thing, Scatulus, worldwide thing, we say. You know, people have to know this is about time where people have to step up to the plate. But remember, Babylon plan their work and work their plan on those who are not aware, and don't overstand because of false education, fairy tales. Some of our children are lost. They consume chocolate illusions and don't know the cost. Well, some were 1 smart and 2 smart, and some got caught, and some were sold, and some were bought, and some were greedy, naive, and never got taught, and some are in denial even though they played a part. We got to reset the mindset. Marcus Messiah Garvey, Honorable Rastafari, Scatula said that. You can speak up yourself.
Thank you. Once again, we got to thank Colin Robinson to get us together. Music make us together, right? Technology make us together. Give thanks from Uncle Sid. One love. And once again, I was saying thank Carol for saying making this a blessed day. Do you want to ask the artist any question, please?
Well, I've just joined in. I'd just like to say thank you for being here. It's absolutely fantastic having you here and having you sharing with us.
And as you taught me, I have a song for the woman there. And we have to say this. This is important. Marcus Messiah Garvey wouldn't be very, very upset if I ever sing this song, Mr. Robinson. Well, in her face I saw a song, and in her eyes I saw a smile. So the title of the song is Mama Africa and Her Child. Well then, our Empress are the cutest, sweetest. Queen Amiga, there goes the Empress. She has no time for no shyness. She's educated, bright and the wisest. Well, her ways are always productive, one of a kind, never deceptive. No need for a detective. She's calm, cool and collective. Well, every day she faces life with reality. Her commitment shows her loyalty. Her swag shows her personality. Prestige and class, she's royalty. Well, in her face I saw a song, and in her eyes I saw a smile. So the title of this song is Mama Africa and Her Child. Last verse, she's so humble, full of politeness, but don't take her kindness for weakness. No, every day she looks forward to progress. Her aspirations are limitless and boundless. So in her face I saw a song, and in her eyes I saw a smile. So the title of the song is Mama Africa and Her Child. Boom!
Okay, thank you so much. We feel this, and we need to big up all the mothers in the world, all the fathers in the world, all the children in the world. And as I said, music make us come together. And once again, we got to rise up to Colin Robinson to get us here together and History in the Making. Thank you so much.
Yes, man. You plant the seed I grow big, man.
Okay.
You plant the seed, you mean the seed that grow, you know? from there, we rain and fall on them thing there. We don't watch that, you know. We like the rain. My brethren Sanji Davis down in the yard say, we like the rain, but not when it rain too long.
What's impressed you most of all after seeing?
No, to know.
What's impressed you most? Huh? What's impressed you most?
What's being here? The whole effort that people made. Do you understand? The effort, because anyone that's in the industry and in the business or doing anything like this knows it takes a lot of effort. Do you understand? And it takes a lot of time, and you have distractions, but you have to keep the focus. So I have to commend you again and extend the credibility to you again, Mr. Robinson, for the whole thing of putting it together, the logistics, etc. You know what I mean? I know the whole thing. That's why I say, oh, this is what we're doing now. We're trying to make the whole thing smoother. Yeah? Make it more smoother. Because our story is a very rich story, you know. And we have to be the one to tell it to. May the Rasta make some comment about Brixton and Buckle and all them thing there. Him learn me something today too. Cause we never check it that way at all either. It's a man say him tell me about them used to when we are going, when them are coming, we are go out. And that's true. When we really check it. Cause our party used to start at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And them just are coming from the pub down. And them thing there. We had a vibes, you know, and it lasts on to this very day. That's why I named my daughter Reggae.
Yes. So as you can see, I mean, coming from Jamaica, Jamaica youth, the young people came here and they brought the vibration with them. How do you see this actual production going back to Jamaica?
I'm glad you mentioned that. I could not come here and don't mention about the Windrush generations. So we asked the people that are dealing with the Windrush generations one question. This is question time. Who were the nurses and doctors over your head, Prime Minister, and gave you love? Then you showed us hate, Prime Minister, and gave you spices to flavor your food, Prime Minister, and gave you music to lighten your mood. You know what? Well, then with terms and conditions, goalposts change positions, and behind closed doors, they made the Windrush decisions. Listen up very good. The whole wide world sees Grenfell Windrush atrocities, inhumane policies, insensitive hypocrisies, leading to brutal decisions. Windrush generations, blessed Scatulus. You just keep me on and on.
Okay, thank you so much, Scratcher, and thank you very much. So once again, we have to give thanks to Mr. Colin Robinson to get us together. Thank you so much, Scratcher. Right. All right, bless you. All right, thank you. Stay.
And gave you love, then you showed us hate, Babylon, and gave you spices to flavor your food, and gave you music to lighten your mood. Well, then with terms and conditions, goalposts change positions, and behind closed doors they make the Windrush decisions. You know what too? You see how them patronizing rhetoric, fake posters, token jesters can't help those who bear the swords and the blisters.
Thank you so much.
Love you.
We're gonna take a picture. We're gonna take a still picture. Of course, I must give thanks and praise to the Creator for the ancestors who have paved the way for us all. That I truly Uncle Sid Award winner is there live and direct, and the Rhythm of Life, the Reggae exhibition. And also today is Marcus Messiah Garvey birthday, and he is the first national hero of Jamaica. Right now we have Mr. Charlie Phillip, a great photographer, and he's the man in UK that keep all the record of photograph from black and white, and he also did it in the dark room and everything. Also, I remember when I was 18, living in Brixton, He take my photograph. I was wearing a tonic trousers, a hat, and he always drive around with my copy to give me because I was so busy. One day, me come out the Brixton Hill and call me, stop the car, and he called me and give me my photograph. I don't know if he did charge me.
After many years.
Long time him have it. Long time. No, so he's. No, you see, this is the truth.
If you have a photograph and we used to buy about, I'd say too expensive, but still.
So I'm here now. For me, it's a.
Years later, he wants to know history. When you leave it too late.
No, but I get your copy. Remember?
Yeah, 30 years later, you know, use that man. Well, it's a long time now, and I have plenty of them.
When I was 18.
Yeah.
So this is it. It's a pleasure to do it, and your work was so precise, you know. And I was wearing my tonic trousers and a hat.
I hope you still have it. That photograph, because you have to show our contribution to British fashion as well. That's been overlooked.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. No, we're gonna.
It's reggae music we brought here. We brought food. We got other culture that's been adopted, right, and that's been hijacked. And one of the other things you overlook is the fashion. Yes. Yeah, because if it wasn't for our presence, you would never have the united color of Benetton's and Mark and Spencer's and yeah, who has adopted some of our fashion. Yeah, especially from the mods as well. You know, this was typical Caribbean fashion, which has been.
You know, I can tell you that we also went to our black tailors, you know, to make our clothes.
That's right. Yes. Well, you see, coming back to it, when you talk about the Windrush. Then it's that as well has been hijacked as far as I'm concerned, because I'm not very popular when I go to some of these conferences and remind people. It's half of the story is unbalanced. Yes, you see, they thought the Windrush people was poverty-stricken people, but when we all first came here, like in my little village, you had a dressmaker, you had a carpenter, you had a pharmacist, you have tailor, and there was a lot of cottage industry, yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, I have nothing to celebrate about Windrush, because personally I think it was one of the biggest propaganda, because the way how we were indoctrinated against our will to believe in the mother country. Yeah, if you look at the early Windrush people, they only thought they'd spend about 5 years or 6 years. And what's been overlooked, they haven't even looked into the sacrifice people has made to come here because they believed in the mother country. The sacrifice. I'm talking about the people who had to sell the land to get that full fare.
85 pounds at that time?
No, it was, on the banana boat it was 45 pounds. On the passenger ship it was 75 pounds. 75 pounds in 1959 was a lot of money. Yeah. Now what's no, but especially I was growing up in Highgate, and you want to every time I go back, you want to see the amount of land some of my parents sell just to get that passage to come, both the cow as well. That legacy. Yeah. Them days they was selling land for $12 US a acre. Yeah, all that has been left out of the Windrush story. Yeah, and this is why the academics has hijacked it and hasn't put it in the right place and get the real grassroots of where we're coming from. Having said that as well, you know, when I went to the premiere when they showed the Windrush BBC 2, the propaganda station, yeah, and they endorsed that academic to tell the story, and I challenged him many a times, because I said, David, we didn't come over here as any destitute immigrants. Look at our attire, how we were dressed, yeah, and what has been overlooked. They took the best of our talent. They've taken the best of it, like the professionals, and they had to waste their time to do menial jobs. I said, what the BBC's overlooked during the Windrush from that same Tilbury docks, there was 1.5 million British people who was immigrating to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. No, for £6 passage. Okay. They paid after the war and after when India gave up their independence. There's a lot of migration of English-speaking or British citizens who were migrating to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Canada for £6 passage. It went up to £10. Yeah, so we didn't come as know that, and this is why there's a labour gap. A lot of us didn't have to come here. A lot of us, our standard of living was much higher than coming here.
Because
a lot
you had
of
your farm to live on.
No, you had your farm. You were said, all right, we might be a bit
They were
poorer.
teachers and nurses and lawyers.
No, all right, might be a bit poor, but let's speak. We believed in the mother country. So did I. Yeah, because I was indoctrinated as well. Because I remember as a kid, in 1953, after the coronation, it was a big excitement. The Queen come to Jamaica, and as a cub, I was marching left, right. The Queen will come. The Queen will come. Yeah, all right. And the sacrifice for me to believe in our Queen, and knowing I was coming to England, we believed that we were coming to the mother country. But the sacrifice we made, I remember living in the
That was a mistake then, coming to England.
to a lot of people. They were deceived.
Okay.
Yeah, we were deceived. We never had no what they overlooked within the Windrush as well. We never had no welcoming committee to welcome us. Yeah. Leaving our house, when I first came here, I want to get a plaque on the house. I had to share a bed with 3 strangers because we didn't have nowhere to go. Some of us didn't have no people to come to. Someone trying to get blue plaque on a house in Lapper Grove. Well,
Explain where blue plaque was.
A blue plaque is to honor our history.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
and you put it like same thing. Dennis Brown got one, and
Yes.
Bob Marley's got one. Jimi Hendrix got one. You know, but it's about time we start honor our own people instead of writing them out of history. Yeah.
Okay, before you go any further, why they use the word Windrush to name a people and it was a ship, sir? That's what
As I say, the institution has endorsed. The institution has endorsed celebrities or academics to tell our story. Yeah, without any question. Yeah, and some of the people who they've endorsed to tell our story, we still haven't got a proper platform to question them. Yeah, our story has got to be told also from the grassroots community. Yeah, not from academics only, because most of the academics didn't even live amongst it, didn't go through it. Most of the academics didn't go through the race rights. I've been to 3 race riots in England. Yeah, I've been through what it was like being attacked by teddy boys. I've been through racial harassment with the police. I've been through being criminalized. Yeah. This is before stop and search. You hear it on the radio, but it's been going on ever since we came, because if you ask some of the first set of Windrush generation, like myself, what we went through, and we never had nobody to complain. Or most of us was fitted up. Or most of us was criminalized. Or most of us were beaten up, put our head down the toilet. And there's 4 notorious police stations in England. If they want to come to amends with Windrush, they should correct some of the wrongs that has been done. That's how I feel.
Okay, let me bring
keep it cultural though, because we're going political. I think it's getting political
okay,
now.
Let's
You know.
go further.
Yeah.
What about when we had the West Indies Regiment here?
They've written us out of history. Yeah, because when you talk about the West Indian, the West Indian Regiment, especially in the 1914-18 war, they don't talk about the genocide that went on as well.
Right.
Yeah, some of my research, yeah, some of it is still censored, restriction, because up to now, in the 1914-18 war, they haven't got no official account of people who died. They've got a memorial in a place called Seaford, and a memorial for 12 soldiers. Well, what happens when you look at the First World War? What's been left out of history? Yeah, we had the labor group, and we also had the soldiers. And when they start arming the soldiers, those soldiers who were armed, they never went direct to the West Indies back. Yeah. They went to Cuba, they went to British Honduras to find them jobs, and they went back to Jamaica 4 years later. Yeah, that's been left out. Why? Because they thought these soldiers would take up arms against their colonial masters. Yeah, but what's been left out as well, you know, what has been left out is the genocide that was committed on the battlefield, because some of the injured African and Caribbean soldiers was left in the bomb craters. That's been left out as well. Yeah, and when they start doing that to Indian soldiers, yeah, Queen Mary built what is now the Royal Pavilion in Brighton, was a hospital for injured soldiers, because India had a bigger colony than the West Indies and Africa.
But
I think this is sensitive.
okay,
Yeah, but there's another debate.
Okay, let's take you back to the photographer, because you are the one who have the eye carve.
No, well, that happens. Yeah.
Yes, and how you are keeping it safe, sir?
No, well, the photography. How I came out into photography, I was self-taught. When we first came in 1956, there was also Cold War happening, and there was lots of black American GIs running around the place, and the only time of entertainment we have was in the shoebins. Yeah. Now I'm a West London boy. I grew up in West London. Used to hide when Suckle used to play in a Brixton and go over to Rallington Road in a Brixton. Yeah, in the days. That's in the near when Suckle. I used to follow Suckle, and I used to follow Shelley or D Eunice when D Eunice. They say all that hasn't been sort of recorded. Yeah.
What's so far to be?
Him come after. But you have to, well, I've got an exhibition on called Get Up, Stand Up, and I've included Duke Vin, who has been left out of history.
And he's the main one.
Who has been left out of history, because if it wasn't for that man, what is now popular British music is a little sound system man from Jamaica. He used to play in the shoebeen and the dance with a little amplifier, and look what you got out of it 50 years later. Fat Boy Slim, Chemical Brothers, what DJs are now, yeah, from a little man. And he's been left out of history because he was part of the British culture, especially when he used to play down the Roaring Twenties. And I will name a few top artists who used to go and borrow his records and sing over it and call themselves rhythm and blues singer or rock and roll singers, yeah. And and some of these artists you see nowadays, you don't even see a black supporting group on the same bill. I can't call a name because I've been threatened for legal, but I challenge a lot of the historians on this as well.
Can I ask you, sir? I mean, I've seen you at our previous exhibition. You're here now, and let me give you thanks for coming and to sharing your large story. You're a walking knowledge of our culture and our music and what's this all about. What do you think of the event and the exhibition so far? Being here now, what do you think about it?
I personally think they especially in Willesden and Alsden, yeah, the institution should hold their head in shame. The government should hold them head in shame, yeah, for a man like Colin, who can take this on his own. And it's so sad he hasn't got no support as taxpayers as well from some of the local institutions, yeah, i.e. I don't know what borough you come under as well, they haven't embraced it. Now we've got one of the biggest events coming up next week. Okay. We've got one of the biggest black Afro-Caribbean cultural event, and yet after 50 years, the cultural minister, and as taxpayers, the cultural minister hasn't even used it or embraced it and accept it, but they use it when they want to win the Olympics. Yeah, they use it when they want to have the Queen's anniversary and the birthday, and yet they can't even put £1 million in it. And after 50 years, this, what they call carnival, should have been amongst the top 10. It's not even amongst the top 10. Yeah? It's just, as far as I'm concerned, it becomes a training ground for the police, for crowd control, where they can sell their services. It's not a people's carnival because the artistic value of it, which I try to ruin, the artistic value and the artistic value and the cultural value has been lost. Yes. Yeah? And what happens, it's an embarrassment when they have to charge sound system to play. Yes. Yeah, and all these things is not being challenged because they have their well, I can't call them stooges, but they have their caretakers who there not to say anything.
But sir, as a photographer, you started out in Jamaica.
I did start out in Jamaica.
You did? Oh, you didn't? Well,
No.
can you tell us your story of how you started out, how you came about? Because I'm sure you've met some of these great artists. And
Well, I used to follow them all around.
Okay.
You have to pay at the door. Yeah? So you walk with in them days, you walk with the cameras. Yeah, no, I still ask Coxon over the years. I saw him the other night. I said he does a lot of festival. And I asked Coxon, you can't carry me as your box boy. Yeah. Well, Vinny, I could have get in free. Suckle, I could have get in free. Shelly, I could have get in free. D.U. they say I have to pay. But still, them all know me over the years, you know. So they sort of got used to me.
these artists that's on the exhibit now, you know them or know of them?
I know some of them.
You know some of them?
Well, I'm from the old school.
Yes.
Some of the new ones I don't know. But when you
They must have been very young.
When you talk about Boston, Alternate,
Yes.
and Ken Booth, Delroy Wilson, Dennis Brown, because in Jamaica we used to live in the same turf. We used to be on the same turf, but I wasn't really a reggae singer as such. I was, gospel, but I was more. Yeah, I used to, but classic. Yeah, I don't know if you ever an artist called Jimmy Tucker in Jamaica. He beat me all the time when you have talent parade. Pan Virgin. There used to be No, I never come first because when I was supposed to go for the talent, the one pair of shoes I have. No, I used to dance. Okay. That's another story. But no. But the white shoes I'm giving, I used to have. No, man, the real shoes, leather shoes. But we used to have to wear that at church. Yes. The crepe I used to wear at school. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So it just shows you. But having said that, I grew up in West. When I left St. Mary, it so happened that I grew up in a place called Denhamstown, and upon that turf, you had a lawn called Bachman Lawn, but you have the famous Duke Reed sound system. We're trying to get a plaque in a Charles Street, that because he's been left out. Duke Reed, he's been left out. Trojan Records, and you see a lot of people has hijacked it. And where is reggae music now? But they left out the grassroots or the foundation, the founder fathers of it. Yeah.
So when did your career in taking photographs? When did that start? When did you start?
You see, when I went to school here, what I really want It's a funny thing. When the Queen came to Jamaica, it was so hot, and we went down by the seaside with the scout group for have a splash. And in Kingston Harbour was the Royal Yacht Britannia. Yeah? And ever since that day, I was fascinated by ships. Okay. When you talk about the Windrush generation, too, when I moved to Kingston, I was also one of the boys upon the waterfront, because my father used to sell upon the waterfront, and he used to.
What did he sell?
Curas and souvenirs. This when Kingston was at its heights, yeah. And I used to be surrounded by a lot of women. When I say women, I was just a youth, but I don't know if you know what a Igla was. Yes. Yeah. Okay, a Igla woman.
Talking about is like some of the pictures that's depicted over there.
Coronation Street Market. When I used to come from country, I used to sort of run errands. We used to run errands for them.
Mandeville Market?
No, I was based in Kingston at the time. Coronation Street Market. And I used to run errands for them, and and I used to hang around in a place called Greenwich Farm. I had a lot of fisherman friends down there. I used to get a buck fish and whatever. A lot of people don't believe this is because I think I come from St. Elizabeth.
Of course.
Everyone talks. I think I know.
But I'm not ashamed to talk about my story, yeah, and that past. And I think you see, we're coming up to the 6th generation now of England, and the reason what keeps me going, there is a missing gap. You know why I say that? Because when I was growing up, I couldn't ask my parents nothing. My parents would tell them, "Shut up, little pig! No, should I see not to heard? Yeah, not heard." And this has caused a missing gap within our history.
So you don't know the truth, then if you can't ask no question.
You couldn't ask our generation that time, but now some of them is beginning to talk. When I say that, we're coming up to 6th generation, and you know what is one of the most frightening things? Some of the grandparents can't even communicate with them grandparents anymore. When I say that in a fluid tongue, because I do plenty of talks sometimes in schools and all that, and you'd surprise the white people them understand the dialect more than the black kids. It's frightening. It frightens them. They can't communicate with them parents or them grandparents anymore. It is
lost.
It is lost. It's a missing gap, and that's the only thing keeps it going, because I'm retired now, but I wish I've had a 9-to-5 job sometime, because no, honestly, but if it wasn't for this young generation who's got an inquisitive mind and want to hear that side of the story that has been properly documented.
So coming back to this exhibition here now, sir, do you think it is a great thing to introduce it to the youngsters, to bring it to the youngsters?
Like this has been well overdue, as far as I'm concerned. But the people who are supposed to be in charge of our art or our culture, they should hold their heads in shame, because they should have backed this. They should have backed this. Yeah, one of the second richest borough, Brent, is the third richest borough in London, yes. and they should have had it in the town hall or something like that, you know. But
I'm just going to take it back.
But what Collingwood then does, what I admire about him, we've got to start doing things ourselves, and this is what same thing with me. My archives was hidden away for 50 years under my bed in my attic and all that, and when I used to show them around, did you really take that? It's not, you know, but it's all the type of thing we think will blend in and all that bollocks, you know. But now I took them out. People want to see themselves. And the reason why my exhibition is, some of my work has become popular is because of this young generation. They go to an institution or a gallery and then see somebody that they represent. As taxpayers as well, you know, we don't challenge the institutions, because some of the big institutions, it was built on our money, especially the Tate. That was built on our money. And it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. The only people you color you can see in them place there is the sweepers and the cleaners. All this has got to be challenged.
So sorry, can I take you back a bit?
Yeah.
We're going to go back to where this all started, Jamaica. Because this great exhibition and some of the ordinary Jamaicans now today, we have just celebrated 57 years of independence. No. We're talking about life. And we're talking about here, it says the rhythm of life.
Right.
Yeah, reggae exhibition. We're talking about music. We're talking about Jamaica, the name. I've been privileged to have traveled many countries. And everywhere you go, you mention reggae. You mention music. People know it. They know of it. And I find that reggae music, or the music, talking about Kumina, Mento, various genres of music, is more celebrated abroad than in Jamaica. And my point is to take something like this back to Jamaica so the people there can see the heritage that they have.
I disagree with you. Yeah. When they were celebrating 50 years of Jamaican independence, one of the ministers said he opened the thing, and he says Jamaica has become a brand.
Yes.
To call a country a brand, I thought it was embarrassing.
Was a person from the tourist?
No, I can't call no names because I get myself in. Jamaica has now become a brand, and part of that brand is reggae music. But then forget about other contributors. Yeah, you can't run a country just on reggae music, but to the institution, it's become a brand. It's become a product, and this is why the music now is being hijacked. It's being hijacked. When you see Japanese, Chinese, Polish, and Jamaica hasn't got no control of it. So it's politics we're going. I'd rather not go there because I'll get myself worked up.
Okay, what is some of the things we never get to ask you what you want to share with us? Some of the things I never get to ask you what you want to share with us.
Well, I've got plenty to share, but every time I do a quiz, it becomes not just cultural, but political. Now, he asked me why did I take photographs? Yeah, it was this Yankee GI who didn't have the money for go back, so my father gave him 15 shilling, and that's when I get my first camera. Yeah, one of the things that upset a lot of the institutions when I give my talks, I say I didn't go to school. I didn't go to school to learn photography. I didn't serve no apprentice for learn photography. You know, I learned photography 7 and 6 pence. I buy a book from Boots Chemist. do it yourself, and this is how I learned. And this surprised a lot of people. What?
How did you keep yourself safe from the chemicals, sir?
No, well, you learn. Sometimes you make a mistake, especially in the dark room. Yeah. No. But it's it just shows you, because in those days, especially when I leaving school, when I was leaving school, certain opportunities wasn't available to you. Okay, I'll give you an example. When I was leaving school, you have what you call a youth employment officer. Yeah, and he says, Charlie, what kind of job would you like? And I said, I'd like to be an opera singer, or I'd like to be a naval architect. And this is a youth employment officer who should have had the youth. That when you look on it, yeah, and they talk about crime and all that, you got lots of talented youth out there who has been given a proper platform or a chance. And the institution, all as far as they think you should do is to get a job with British Railways, sorry, not even British Railways, British Railway, the transport service, the hospital service, the hospital.
So you must do their services for them.
That's what they recommend a young youth who has academic skills. That's what, as a person of color, I'm not talking in the 50s, in the early 60s. That's all that was available for you. Go beyond that, you were being discouraged. This is the thing, we must talk about Windrush as well, yeah? Because they suppress a lot. They never invested in us. They never invested in us. And out there among some of the youths, you have some amazing talent out there that hasn't been recognized, but being criminalized. Yeah? My generation, if you can, I can tell you what we went through. We weren't given a platform to aspire to.
But you still paved the way, sir.
No, I do it myself, but not well. Had I been hold on, I'll tell you something. Nowadays, I feel I become a political pawn. When I say I become a political pawn, is they didn't know I was a photographer of the institution. Didn't know I was a photographer of color, a black person. This is a fact now. This is just, they didn't know I was this is why some of my talks are interesting, you see. They didn't know I was a person of color, yet they've seen my work worldwide. Yeah, but I was based in Italy many years ago, and this is where they first accept me. Yeah, but coming back to England is one of the biggest mistakes. I cried last night because I don't know if you saw the documentary last night about Jimi Hendrix, and I had a big collection of Jimi Hendrix. And when I took it around in my days, they said, "Did you really take that?" They thought I must have picked it up. Yeah, and I lost that collection now. But apart from that, they never invested in us, and this is why how they found out who I was. Is when they start to have this other propaganda again, Black History Month. They fit you in there. No, because what they have to do, why you become a political pawn in the situation, yeah? When some of these big institutions apply for fundings, they have to show that they is a person of color.
Wow.
No, this is the dirty game of politics. What nobody can.
That's so unfair.
No, yeah, and this is why I really don't take it serious. Okay, they give you a platform. They give you a platform, and they didn't know that. As far as they're concerned, we can forget about you in 2 weeks. Yeah, like my first exhibition I had, we had 350,000 people in the space of 4 months, and as the institution. So that shouldn't have happened, and they still do everything to suppress it. This is why I'm very outspoken. Yeah, we become a political pawn because some of these institutions, especially, I refuse to do anything. I refuse point blank to do anything for Black History Month. Yeah, because
you did tell me you went into school and speak
before, but I refuse to do anything when they call you. I call it. Nowadays I call it Black Working Month because the rest of the year, But I get up sometimes because there's groups of people now who wants to hear our story orally Why? Because they haven't given us a proper platform to tell it. So when they invited some of these big cultural institutions, like the one I'm doing a talk at, I'm doing a talk on Somerset House. There's an exhibition called Get Up, Stand Up. As far as I'm concerned, it's just to tick the box. So we've been used. Some of us has been used as political pawn. No, been used. No, it's not unfair. Yeah, tick the box. Yeah, so this is why I don't get involved in the Windrush and the Grenville, and because there's always people out there who can manipulate it. Have their own agenda. Yeah. And this is, you see, we still haven't got a proper platform as well. Yeah, we still haven't got a proper platform to tell our side of the story, So this is why I like to do interview with a pirate radio station, or if you want to hear a good language, the barbershop and the hairdressers is the only meeting place where you can hear news. Seriously, we haven't got a platform.
So what you're doing here now, sir, I mean, you're telling your story.
I'm telling part of it.
You're telling it. It's your story. You're telling.
It's a part of it.
You lived it, which is amazing. And others hearing, youngsters coming up, hearing your story, because there's a lot of youngsters who are here, gone to college, worked, did everything, and at the last minute somebody failed them. And now the people who are failing them is not even the indigenous people of this country, is our own. That's right, because people of color, because we feel restricted and we don't know how to stand in our own skin and say, well, look, right, I am this, I have worked and I can actually do X, Y, and Z. I am comfortable with it. They feel that they have to please someone else. So they would pass they'd fail a youngster because they want to prove something. To tick the box, which is not so. So in you telling your story, there's a young chap or a young lady in media or whatever, they can listen to your story. And with that, they can build themselves and they can say, oh, if Mr. Charlie Phillips did it, he actually did it on his own. So can I.
Well, so far there's about 20 young kids who has done a dissertation on me.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and that's the thing that keeps me going, because I'm supposed to try. All I wanted to do was spend more time in my allotment and catch up on my reading. But there's a lot of young people as beginning, and that's what keeps me going. There's a lot of young people with that missing history.
Story to tell, and you are telling it. You're not leaving it up to myself or somebody else.
Okay, that point come to me. How important legacy and inheritance to you in any order, sir?
No, it's very important. I'm saying now that it is very important, because my family never passed their legacy on to me. I had to go to Jamaica to research it. And when I was there in March, and something, some of the neighbors knew more about my family than I knew about myself.
Because you travel?
No, the family history.
Okay.
The family history that my family should have told me. Yeah, and when you make some inquiries for find out, them say, shut up, pick the way up, question big people. And when every time I go back to Jamaica, a few beers, and some of the neighbors knew my auntie and my this and cousin that, and yeah. And I was amazed, yeah. And this is the missing gap within our history as well, because it hasn't been properly documented.
And we have this motto, and it says, out of many, we are one. There's a reason why that's said. Because there's not one person that holds a story of, our story. No, it's a collective. It's a collective. And each one of us has that responsibility of passing it on. Like we had this morning or earlier on, where we had the first group. Yeah, that came out of Jamaica, that was actually, Yeah. And if they didn't tell their story, nobody would know. And when someone else tells the story, they're not going to tell it like they lived it. That's their journey. So by doing that, and this is the one, what I say, that with this exhibition, it's everyone contributes to it and everyone has part of the story.
The black economy of London, is, we've given it away. Do you understand? We've given it away because every other group, every other community exploit us, not exploit us, but gain from us. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you
the economy months or what.
and then you have the youngsters that will come up and they will say,
sorry, this generation, and I say it without is a confused species.
because they'll look at us and say, well, our parents didn't make any contributions. So what do we do? Because they're not been taught the proper story.
They've been indoctrinated with some of the Coronation Street.
Okay,
And
my input.
It's amazing and fantastic that you shall actually, you've told your story. Thank you.
My word for you now, you did cover a legacy. What about inheritance now, sir?
Well, inheritance, I haven't got nothing to inherit. But what happens, I'm setting up a trust. Yeah, so all my archives will be in one place for future generation. I know the institution won't open it up, but not in my generation, but in the next 2 generations. Yeah, it's going into archive at the moment.
So, I'd just like to thank you again for coming here and for sharing with us, your amazing experience. And, your story is still going on. It's not ended.
Well,
so, thank you.
Keep the history alive and keep the culture
Thank
alive.
you.
It's well overdue, and thanks for having me.
Well, some of the things Mr. Charles Philip, if we want to salute you, how are we going to do that?
I don't know. I've been well, a lot of people want. I just, for the first time, I got an award from Nottingham Gate Carnival. It was touching. She gave me emeritus because I documented Lapper Grove over there for the first award I get. But honestly, I've been nominated for MBE and a CBE, but I just couldn't accept it at the moment because of my political views. If I did, it would have double standards until right, and I probably will accept it when right is being done. When right is being done, I couldn't accept it in this situation when they talk about Windrush and they're still deporting people. The last thing, they put people in shackles and chains for put them on. Now they don't send them with Virgin or anything. Yeah. When the scandal started, I refused to do an interview with BBC because I upset them. I said, why don't you go to summer detention center? Why don't you go to the Home Office? They're still deporting people, You know that? And I could never, live with myself to accept such a honor. I know it might be false, but the only reason I'll probably accept it is I won't probably get no more harassment from the police.
What I like to do. What about your culture food now? What is some of the recommendation of the culture food we must eat to keep young like you?
Oh, well, I don't keep, no, I overeat. No, I'm sorry, yeah. We're going on a different subject there because you're telling me I must give up some of my traditional food.
Which one we must eat?
No, well, you got fruits and veg and all that, but I can't, everybody to their own taste. I don't think I have the right to impose what people should eat and what people should eat.
Okay, at this moment, I'm going to thank...
I'm no overweight, but now again, I still like my fried dumpling, I still like my bang, and I still like my green.
You. Carlos salute you, and everybody salute you, and we're gonna salute you in a big way, sir. And I wish you long life.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, thank you.
Give thanks.
Keep the culture.
Give thanks, and we must say thank you to Colin Robinson to put this on, and thank you so much. And just stay here, and then he's gonna do it.
Meet up again.
Certainly, yeah.
Right, we're gonna take a picture and close like this.
Yeah, go on then.
Of course, I must give thanks and praise to the Creator for the ancestors who have paved the way for us all. That I truly Uncle Sid Award winner is here live and direct on this new day, Saturday, the 17th of August, 2019. Also, it's our first national hero birthday, Marcus Messiah Garvey, right? And he was our first national hero, and he died in UK, and they take his remains back to Jamaica. So now we're gonna look at this day and mark it in our history that the Rhythm of Life, the reggae exhibition put on together by Colin Robinson and many more members in the community. So we're gonna salute also Colin Robinson. Right now we have Diane White right? She have a great history, and she's a band leader, musician, and more. So it's gonna come out in the reason. Good afternoon, Diane. We see you when we come here from Friday. The things what you're doing, you welcome us in so much, and you're a part of our history. What would you like to share with us first, Diane?
Well, I give thanks for the gathering. I give thanks for, we have the space that we can do things like this. You understand? We can show our history, show our legacy, what we've created and what our foreparents went through to where we are today. So for people to be able to see all of this great work is a blessing, so I'm glad to be a part of it.
All right. Who inspired you to do the music? Because music is about love, our culture, and music get us together.
When I was growing up, I grew up in a Jamaican household. And, the community was together because we never have nowhere to go. Our parents had nowhere to go. So, this week the party would be at your house. Next week the party would be at your house. You understand? And all the children would be there, so we just moved from house to house. And music was in our life at all times. We wake up in the morning, music I play. Nighttime we are play music. Mommy and daddy are play music. So it was just inbred.
Okay. All right. What is some of the... I'm going to take you back in the young days. Who inspire you? And who you remember more that give you a first start?
Well, I remember as a little girl, yes. My granny, she used to sing at funeral and church. Yeah, and
that sounds sad when you say sing at funeral and
she used to sing at funeral and church because, that was her thing. She wouldn't go out and perform anywhere else. But if anybody wanted her to sing at funeral, she was always there. And growing up with my cousin, the late Hopton Lewis, you understand, being around him all the time and him a do music and him always said to me, you forget to involve in our music, come know you love it. So from there, when I started school and all of that, when I went to secondary school, I started playing around with the keyboard, I started playing around with the guitar a little, and that's where my musical journey began.
When you say begun, I'm sure it was from when you was in the womb.
Well, yes, cause music was always playing from there. Yes, definitely. But good.
Would you say music make you calm?
Music has taught me things that no other experience in life could teach me. Music made me see the world. Music opened my eyes to ways of life, ways of living, ways of feeling. That's what music did for me.
Okay, I know you are a leader, right? You're not a follower. How did you maintain the leadership?
I believe in what I do. I'm walking on the spiritual road. I walk with the Almighty. You understand? And the Almighty never gives you more than you can bear. So you see, any mission that I am on, I will just continue the journey through the hill and the gully. Because I know at the end of it, it will be all right.
Could you share some of the journey with the band? Because you have so many gifts, right? We're talking about the band, musician. You have a record out. You also was on a reggae Star what?
Star Factor.
Right.
Yeah.
Which one come first to you? A memory?
Well, I walked into a rehearsal room in 1979, and I came out of school with 5 O levels and walked straight in the rehearsal room. And my mother said, "What you doing? You can't do that." But I done it. And that is where I started learning to play bass. Because I'm a bass player. So being out of school, straight into music, straight into a rehearsal room, my musical journey just continued from there. And I formed a band in 1980, an all-female reggae band called African Woman, it was called. And we took that band and we toured the whole of Europe, through the hill and the gully. Some experiences we went through on that journey, was really crucial. But it taught us a lot, as well as, living the experience. And after that, 1984, we went to Jamaica. We played on Reggae Sunsplash, 1984. The first female band in the world to ever touch the stage of Jamaica on that show. you know, and we made history because it was the 7th of the 7th.
Wow. July.
It was the seventh sunsplash, the seventh, the 7th year of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and they said it was a blessing one, for it being the 7th, and we opened for Ras Michael and everybody, and it was a great vibe, great experience, you know. And from there we toured 40 states of America. We've been across the world. We got Japan 5 times. We've been everywhere as a band, as a female band. And we made history in many of the countries. We played in places like Madison Square Gardens where nobody no play for England. You know, so we've had a good journey.
You know, when somebody asks you, you're supposed to be current, what would you say about that? You know, sometimes people said you're supposed to be current and they don't know about your history. How would you take that? If somebody say you need to be, they don't know your history, and they say you're supposed to be current.
Well, the majority, that's a funny question, because the majority of people, I'm still current because I'm still playing.
That's what I like.
That's the thing. I'm still playing at the moment. I'm playing with Lee Perry. I'm playing with Max Romeo. I'm playing with everybody. So I'm still current. But for those people who don't know me, you can look on YouTube. You can look on any social media and type in my name, and you will find me, and you will see.
Say what they're supposed to type in.
If you go on Facebook, you type in Diana Black, or you go on YouTube, you type in Sister Women in Reggae, Max Romeo, Lee Perry, any one of them.
So how many different stage name you have? Come on. You said they must type it in.
No, my stage name is Diana Black. That's my stage name.
Yes, that's what they must type in.
That's what they must type in, and they will find me.
Okay, you know, I'm so close to you at this moment, right? Mm-hmm. And I can feel the love in you for the music. And music let people get together. And you say you have music out. Tell us some of the songs that you recorded. As a group or on your own?
I have my own record label as well, which is Real Talk Productions UK. Right, it's a record label that we built in 2014 because we said there's no positive music out there. So we're going to call it Real Talk. Because you see, anything we produce from Dessa have to be real talk. It's not no foolishness, we're not into that. And if it's not a message, a constructive message you're sending, then we're not into the destruction, so you can't stay over there. That is our policy. You understand? But we've recorded like Jimmy Riley, Max Romeo, Peter Honningale, the whole heap of UK artists. And we're still, at the moment, we have 7 tracks we're going to release at the end of September. So we have like Vivian Jones, we have like Sparky Rugged, some up-and-coming artists that we're actually producing because, you know, we're trying to make a platform. We're trying to make a family where we can go out there and represent. You understand? In the reggae industry, because reggae don't really have a family like that. And there is enough of us as musicians in England where we have the empire. All we need to do is just come together and just build the empire because it's ours. We must keep control of it. That's my thing. You know, no matter where we come from, north, south, east or west, we have the same common goal. It's about the music and the preservation of the music and the strength of the music.
Okay, what I want to ask you, because you say you travel. Mm-hmm. If some of the country, what you travel to, would you live there?
I would
too much to say.
No, it's not too much to say because in all my travels, there's 2 places I would say I would live. Number 1 is Africa, without a doubt. And number 2, I went to a place called New Caledonia. Right? Is an island in the Pacific Sea past Australia. Beautiful. Those are the only 2 places that I would see, but my first choice is Africa still, because, you know, it's about home. That's home. And we need to go home and build home. And that's my thing, again. Because anything I do here, I'm doing it here to take with me. My label, I've already had a meeting with a prince from Nigeria. You know, he wants us to take what we have here. Reggae Star Factor, he's got a thing where he wants to do a thing called Real Talk Africa. Because we've done our documentary on the record label. And it reached to Africa. And one of the princes of Nigeria gave us a call and talk about Real Talk Africa, what they want us to do. They want us to come and go out on the street, get the talk from the people, see what the people need, put on, work with the up-and-coming talent that is in reggae in Africa. Because in Nigeria especially, reggae is outcasted. You understand? It's not getting no looking, whereas all the rest of music is getting a looking, but reggae is having a big fight. So it's like, what they're saying to me is that what we have will kind of break the market, will kind of open the door a little bit. Maybe because we're coming from the UK and where we're coming with. So
how is it important to have a platform of your own to get everybody in the community together?
Well, that was one of the reasons why I started Reggae Star Factor now.
Right.
Because, you know, being on the road all these years and watching what's happening with reggae everywhere else in the world, and then when you come home, it's like we have nothing. So there's so much talent in the UK that is not getting a look in. So I said, you know what, need to create this platform so that we can nurture the up and coming artists and keep the lineage going. Or else we're not going to have a lineage. There's no young ones playing instruments more than so. These are the things for this place. You understand? I'm trying to set this place so that we can get young ones playing instruments again. You understand? Keep music live. Not a man sit down in a house and build beat pan thing and then him go out with him laptop and play. BBMC, the home of reggae, the home of music.
Okay, back to what you said, you create a female band.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get it together? This is what I'm saying, because normally it's not easy for a female to be together in the music field like that. If we never see it done before, you say you make history.
Yeah.
How did you create that?
And we done it for 30 years. 30.
Well done.
Yeah. You know, we were all young when we started. We were all into music.
Any family members or just...
No.
What?
No family members.
How did you do that?
No family member. Yeah.
I thought family is a thing that people do. Or explain a little
But we
bit
grew
more.
as a family. We became a family.
Okay.
Yeah, we became a family, and you know,
I'm saluting you.
we were all young. We were all young when we started, and we all
What
had.
you call young? Because most of the artists here, what you see in the exhibition, they started off young, Millie and others.
Yeah. When you say young, some of them are 16. Some were 16.
Did you have to have permission?
Permission for what?
To go and do your rehearsal.
No.
If you say 16.
No.
and live
What we
in a
done.
home.
We would save up our little pennies, and we all chip in together and pay for the rehearsal. And we used to rehearse religiously twice a week, just to build ourselves religiously. Cause practice make perfect. You get me? And to design what we wanted to deliver to the people.
And how did you design your outfit, if I'm not getting too personal?
Well, we just decide the color, and then we decide everybody pick their own style. The color was one, and everybody had their own style.
So what was your part in the band?
I was the bass player, director, musical director, one of them.
And make decision?
Yeah, we all made decisions together. We was a collective. We was a family.
Okay. Some other thing I didn't get to ask you, could you just speak freely, because you can share more than what you put on the paper here.
What else you want me to share?
Because you're the history, you're the part of what we have here. And we got to thank Colin to put us together. Because the point is, I'm here sitting, and there's more. You know, this 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour cannot share your journey, what you've done so far. Because you tell me you've been to Africa, you go to Jamaica,
Japan.
You know, myself, everywhere. I'm here, but my spirit is in Jamaica. I don't know if it's wrong to say that. Because I was born there.
You was born there.
And then you tell me now your spirit is in Africa. Those are the two places where you say you want to live. So that's where you tell me two places you want to live. So anyway you want to live, your spirit is there.
That's right.
Okay.
So, but yeah, for me, it's all about Africa. It's all about building and regenerating and, you know, setting foundations and strengthening. You know, 'cause that's what it's about. We need to strengthen our grounds, you know, so that the generations behind us can see some kind of example, see something to aspire to. 'Cause that's what's wrong with our young people. There's nothing for them to aspire to. So we have to be the leaders to try to set the foundation so them can see. So you know what? You know, I can do that.
Well, all I said, family love to you right now.
Thank you.
You know, all right, just we gotta thank Colin, and I'm feeling so comfortable talking to you because music is all about love.
Yes, man.
You know, and you know, I've speak to many people over the years as a female, but you have shown me a light what no other female has shown me, because you're so natural. And you know, I'm not knocking anybody because you have the gift. And when you say you're the first one to do this, not you alone. How many people was in the band? You didn't
There
say
were 7 of us. 7 of us.
7 days,
Yeah, man.
1 week.
Yes, brother. One for every day.
I salute you.
Thank you.
So once again, we thank you, Diana White. What you say if they want to reach you by your stage name?
Diana Black.
Okay. Right, and you need to tell me any of the albums or where they can get to music.
If you go on CD Baby, iTunes, or you can go to our page. If you go to Real Talk Productions UK, on Facebook, you can download, you see all the songs that we've got for release. At this present moment, our newest release is a tune called Man's World. It's a cover. It's done by a lady called Hannah Francis, who was a runner-up on Reggae Star Factor Season 3 last year.
When can we see you live and direct in living colors?
Well, the next live and direct living colors is Monday the 26th of August.
It's not far.
Yeah, we are playing at Wales Carnival, the female band. Yeah. They have invited us to Cardiff. They want us to come to Cardiff to play on the carnival.
You're going to go there with transport?
Yeah, we're going to get a minibus and go down there, or a mini coach. Go down there.
Are you staying overnight?
No, it's a day trip. It's a day trip. It's a day trip.
And you don't want to rest after that?
No, we're good. We used to.
Okay. I'm giving thanks for your history today. You was a part of it. It said the rhythm of life, the reggae exhibition. I'm going to salute Colin and everybody who's there listening to you. You make history today. I know you make many before, but you make my day today. Give thanks.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Colin.
So when you listen to ska, yeah?
Yes.
Any particular artist in the ska you can remember?
Duke Reid.
Duke Reid?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes. Especially Use Your Head.
Okay, okay. So another one came up very famous at the time as well, yeah? I think all over Europe, everyone was listening to Bob Marley. Have you ever listened to Bob Marley?
Yes. It's not exactly ska. But they did a version of One Love, a ska version.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So when you hear One Love, how it make you feel? The word One Love.
Well, everything's contained in that.
Fantastic,
Yes.
fantastic, yeah.
Human race, purpose of existence, fulfilling the purpose of existence.
Yes, yes, yes.
The Jamaican national anthem is universal.
It is, it is.
Other national anthems have got things like Britannia Rules the Waves and Germany Above Everything, but the Jamaican one is all embracing, and it hasn't got anything about one lot is superior to the other.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
I love that.
Okay.
Yes.
And I heard you said earlier on, by coming it make you feel
at home.
You feel at home?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
So you went into the library, you saw the leaflets, you picked up one
I
of them.
think so, yes.
That's good. And you came out here, you've been here quite a few hours now.
Yes.
And you've been through the exhibition.
Yes.
And now you're sitting down with my good self. And we're talking about your vision, what you felt, and how you've been treated then. Coming inside here with respect.
Yes.
Thank you very much. You know.
Always.
It's a pleasure.
Yes.
You know.
And extraordinary thing you've done. And I hope more people can do more and more of this kind of thing to retain the heritage and to make it known to more people.
That's good.
This is my special subject. Okay. I want you people to preserve You see, a lot of people have said to me their parents didn't tell them anything about their story. The grandchildren, the little kids, will say to their Nan, what did you do, this, that and the other? And then it draws it out, but they haven't told their own children these things, so it's being lost.
So you're saying there's a hidden agenda?
No, not a hidden agenda. The older generation haven't been telling their story to their children.
Okay. When you was a young man, have you ever traveled to, what part of Europe have you traveled to?
After I finished studies, I went travelling, I went east and I went to India and I stayed there 20 years.
You're joking?
No.
20 years in India? Wow.
I didn't mean to, it just happened. And it was a tribal area in the hills, no roads or electricity or anything like that. And those 20 years I didn't see any white people.
You're joking?
No, it was brilliant.
Oh, that's why you came here. This is a great man. This is not a man. This is a great man, yes? For him to say he didn't see no white people at that time.
I forgot.
And he totally forget.
Yes.
And today when he walked to the building out there and walked in here, his head was up. He felt at home. He was proud.
Yes.
He paid his money to come in. He didn't feel like no one is going to give him no animosity. He was just natural. And thank you very much. You know. What's your name?
David.
David, yes.
Those 20 years, the tribal people were absolutely extraordinary. The most fabulous people I've ever met. They weren't educated like you would understand it, but very intelligent people, beautiful, loving. And I understood from being with them how it's possible to be as a human being. And when I came back to England, it was a massive culture shock. I used to think, what are these people on? All this nastiness and selfishness and that kind of stuff.
It would be nice to get some more people to go out there and see how the other half live before
Yes.
they come back this side
Yes.
and tell the story as what you're saying. You're saying that those people out there were living a life of love, understanding, behavior. They weren't looking down on no one and saying, I'm better than you.
Yes.
Which is the most important, yes. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
It's an honor.
Sharing that with us, yes?
Culture and history.
He did. He gave us a sharp part of his life. Thank you.
So can I go home now?
You can go home.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, wait, tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow and tell someone else, yes?
Good evening, my name is Carol Christie, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you for coming along to this amazing rhythm of life, the Reggae exhibition. And I'm going to ask you, what are your views on it? Please give me your names and a little something about yourselves.
I'm Charlene. I'm 30-something years old, and I'm delighted to be here.
Excellent. And what do you feel being here? And give us a little bit on what your feelings and what you saw, and what you're going to take back from this today.
A sense of pride and a sense of belonging, I would say. Like in the last few days, I have been thinking a lot about how I represent myself in the world, where I come from and what I stand for, and it's just reaffirmed that I have come from something amazing.
Excellent. And your heritage, your parents?
Are of Jamaican descent. My grandparents were born in Jamaica, but my parents were born in the UK.
Excellent. Do you know where in Jamaica your grandparents were born?
My nan told me she was born under the clock, so that's Kingston.
Yeah.
And I think on my dad's side, they're from St. Thomas.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely. Warriors.
Yeah.
So what are you going to pass on your future? What do you think, is going to motivate, you're going to take from this to sort of like pass on to your children or future children from this?
Definitely a sense of pride.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Encouragement to do anything that they want, and believe in themselves because it can be done.
Excellent, excellent. Can I have your name?
Shanika.
Oh, beautiful, Shanika. Well done. So, how do you feel about the exhibition and what you've seen?
This is great. I think that we need to do it more, so that people that don't know can get to know, because they don't show, outside world are not showing us this. So this is everything that we need to learn and to teach our kids. Exactly. So I think it's great.
Exactly. And you're not going to get this in schools.
No. We don't get the background in schools. We just get what they want to tell us.
Exactly. So this is the story. This is the real story.
Yep.
So you have, do you, as you said, you get a feeling of pride, and do you have the strength? You feel that strength attached to it?
Yes, definitely. I think even just experiencing it, like today, and seeing so much history and the small steps and the big steps, the things that weren't big at the time that have made such a big difference in the world that we live in today, makes me realise that we've all got a small part to play for a bigger picture.
Yes. So. And can you see where the other things, the cultural things like the hair and the clothes and the fashion, a little bit of input on that? What do you think?
Well, some things would be shunned upon.
Yes.
But I think our style and fashion is followed by other races and cultures. I think we bring everything to the table with the hairstyles, with the colours, the vibrancy of the colours and the brightness and stuff. I think that us as a culture can be very expressive in lots of ways,
yes.
and it's very good too.
Yes.
And we should continue to.
Creative innovators. Almost.
Exactly, and the confidence.
Yeah.
You know, that strength.
Yeah.
You know, that it comes for you to go out and express yourself in that depth.
Yeah.
To know that nobody can't stop you from, you can go there in the mind.
Yeah.
And it also helps you as well to take note on what you're doing, to be positive.
To be confident.
Yeah. To be confident, because your children and your children's children will be looking back at.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Because we all get our strength from each other.
Yeah.
You know, so you are my strength.
Yes.
I'm your strength, your future, and your past, and your present. Yeah. So again, I'd just like to thank you, and thank you for coming so much. I'm not going to keep you because you're saying that you wanted to go. But a last word, what last thing you'd like to say?
Thank you guys for putting this together. I would definitely like to see you again every year, maybe for Black History Month for young people, because I know that culturally Black Caribbean boys struggle in school. Sometimes they do need to see a positive way to see themselves, see their history, and it's not history that's so far away from them that they can't relate to it. It all makes sense up to the relevant date. So I'd like to see more of you guys. That's what I'd like.
Excellent. Well done. Well said. Yourselves?
Agreed. And I also think that it could be a good thing to show other cultures that their culture does lean on our culture. Feed off of it. Like they need us, or their music does come from us, and their artists or their big artists do mixed with us. And I think that people should see that as well.
Excellent. Because it's especially, do you see the uniqueness of it?
Yes.
Yeah, and nobody can't take that away from you as women, as future mothers, as mother. You know, you're bringing that into the world no matter where you go. And with today's generation, you know, we've given this Black History Month. How dare somebody telling you that your history starts from 1 month? Looking around at everything that you've seen, is it 1 month?
No.
Generations upon generations, and you know where it's coming from. Nani, as we saw, that strong woman, and it's telling you something as well. As women, it's up to us to say, you know, I'm not going to put up with this.
Yes.
I have my child, my children. You know, I have my husband, I have my man, I have my future to take care of. So you take hold of it, and you grasp it, and you said, nobody's going to take it. If it's going to be done, it's up to me. Because one person do make a difference.
Yeah.
And you look at yourself, you think, oh, you're one. But you're not. You're standing on the shoulders of... Who are you standing on?
Shoulders of warriors.
Warriors. Yeah.
Definitely.
So thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Many blessings.
Thank you.
Future.
Four of reggae great. Dennis Al Capone and the Cimarrons, yes? Welcome to the Rhythm of Life Reggae Exhibition.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
You see, when we look at reggae history, we have to look at Dennis Al Capone as
of course.
the gentleman that was there with us, and everyone was jumping up and dancing. And when Dennis said to me a couple of years ago, Bob walk on stage with him, I didn't really believe until when I saw the photograph.
Yeah.
I said, yes, it was true, yes. But Dennis, I know you as a friend for quite a few years, but reggae music is like a spiritual journey to you, yes?
It is indeed. And that moment that you was talking about a while ago, this thing, it took place at the Empire Ballroom, Leicester Square.
Okay.
Right, I came up on the Jamaica Showcase, 1974, right, with Dennis Brown, Sly. Sly was playing with Light Parks at the time.
Okay.
Was the bass player. They had a band named The Skin, Flesh and Bone. Right, so I came up with like I said, the Maytals, Dennis Brown, Cynthia Richards, and a guy called Al Brown. Al Brown had a hit with Al Green's song called Here I Am Baby. Big hit, so when Admiral Ken is an English promoter. When he saw us, he took me, Dennis Brown, and Desmond Decker, and put us into the Empire Ballroom. And that show was, you can imagine, well sold out. Bob Marley came the night, Bob Marley, Family Man, Carly, and there's a boxer that was around that time called, I think it's Lester Sterling. Right, and Bob was backstage with us, and I called him, introduced him to the crowd. But because I was a star at the time, the photographer man took me facial, I took Bob back way. Right. But I still got the picture. Right, because that time Bob was just promoting the Catch a Fire album. Right, him didn't really break out yet.
Okay.
So that was, I can say I'm a part of that Bob Marley promotion from that time. You understand? But we have to give thanks to the journey.
Yes.
It's a long journey,
And everywhere you go, I can hear songs of Dennis Al Capone there.
Yes.
She just walked in here just now, and I saw she was saying, teacher, teacher. Yes. So that particular song, it has written in several different languages in our brains and our mind, yes?
Yeah, well, people call me on Facebook all the time and say, Dennis, you know that you're the one who teach my kid how to start spelling?
See, that is reggae music.
Yeah, with that song.
Music,
And right now, that song is playing in Jamaica now for the past 30 years on RGR on a program called Teacher's Time. Right? Some people call me from New York asking me to allow them to use the song in a school. And they were saying to me that someone blocked the song. It's my song, and someone blocked it. I don't know who blocked it.
Maybe the publisher don't even do it the way at the time.
Yeah, you understand? But this is how the business goes. From we record, it's out of our hands. Unfortunately, but it's a reality.
Okay. So that's where Dennis Al Capone picks up. And now, the Cimarron. Tell me something. The name Cimarrons, where do you able to find that name, or where do you pull it out of a cap somewhere?
Well,
TV series.
Yeah, it started from TV series,
Yeah.
It was called Cimarron Strip, a Western on TV, like a series. But it was spelled with Cimmarons. But about a year or two after, leave keep up here. It says, change it to Cimarrons, one name, Cimarons, meaning in French, in Spanish. In Spanish it means wild and free. Wild and free. So Cimarrons mean wild and free in Spanish.
Yeah. And at what age did you guys put the band together and started?
Yeah, well, 18 was all.
Did you start in Jamaica?
17, 18.
17, 18.
Start in England, not in Jamaica. Start right
But
here.
a lot of people believe when you read some of the write-up, that you start in Jamaica and you came to England as a band.
People think we were realize one night time. We used to go on and back, Bob.
Yeah.
All the man people talk to me, I call me family man. Ask me something about some man. Never say, yeah man, I'm still on in a rasta, yeah man. Go it out.
Cimarrons really started in halls then, Tavistock Hall, which is now called the Windrush Hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where we started, originally.
So your lead singer at the time, who was the lead singer there with you guys?
Well, when I started, I was singing.
You were singing at that time?
Yeah, because we had a girl singer by the name of Faith Brandfield.
At that time was just learning process.
So I was the rocksteady singer. The rocksteady.
Okay, because you got one famous Winston Reid.
Winston Reid,
who sing with Dennis Al Capone.
Yeah. Winston Reid came was 1972, 74, 73, 74. Winston joined the band. Before it was Carl Lewis. Remember Carl Lewis?
Yeah.
Carl Lewis was in the band.
You know Carl Lewis?
It was about 3 years before.
And the first
Carl Lewis.
When I worked with Cimarrons, it was Carl was the singer.
Yeah, Carl was the singer. And we did Mamba Blue with him. We did Struggling Man recording. We did a few recording. But again, through the business, crooked name change. I mean, they call them bogus name and some. I mean, because Cimarrons we have done thousands of records, And
75% of children.
Name change. We call it Prophet. The Hippie Boys, the Reggae Boys, the Zion Boys, Reaction, Sambo Jim. Cimarrons are called different names. So the music people hearing today, Cimarrons people they don't know. They're Cimarrons, and it got cardboard voice in it. And with Bob, we did with Bob Marley. We used to work with Bob in the early days when we was moving with John Nash, with Robert Taylor days. Okay. And during that period of time, Bob we rehearsed with him, and Bob loved Cimarrons, especially the keyboard, because he had drum and bass already. He had family man and thing. So when Bob did Catch a Fire, it's funny enough, because Bob was sitting down now. We sit down every night when staying in Bayswater. And Bob was a problem. Bob said, Kichi, I have a sound, and we can't explain the sound we have, we can't explain the sound, man. And he says to me, I want to make music that people, I don't want to copy nobody. And the music I make, people must copy me. That's what Bob concept, He said that sound was driving crazy. And it was a true thing, every day coming up. He said the same thing. He says, this sound, can't explain it. And one day, we must have been in rehearsal. And I started doing Concrete Jungle. And with Concrete Jungle, I started play about with a blues soul. Phrases, licks. Bob, so everybody was. Bob's a blood clot. I don't be hearing now. Him heard the blues and the soul mix with the guitar licks in the song, but he could explain it. That's why eventually I see I'll join the band with the licks. But that concept came from me really. I mean, nothing that people don't know, And I went to Bob wanted us to tour with him. When we went to America, he wanted just me and Davey, the keyboard player. But we told him, no, we can't break up Cimarrons, And a couple of years after, to cut long story short, a couple of years after we went to Jamaica, when talking, no, before I went to Bob in the Carnival, just after I did the next album, we call Sheriff album, Natty Dread album.
Natty Dread
album. I met Bob in the Carnival, and I was talking for hours, the Carnival. And Bob said, Cimarrons, there's a couple of other people's song, and I don't know my song yet. You must know my song, don't know my song, man. So we didn't play much mind, we spent this studio, and we just did Talking Blues, just for fun of it. And we just left it there, left the song there, and touring around the place. We went to Japan. First regular live band in Japan. We went there in Japan in 1973, 74. And when we're in Japan, you got a phone call. Simran's, you're number one in Jamaica. And we laugh. It's a joke. It's a joke Webster Road. Webster Road, joke man. And he said, no, we're number one in Jamaica. We didn't believe him. And then we got back to England. He said, Simran's, pack your bags. 1 week in England, you go to Jamaica. Talking blues, number one in Jamaica. For 8 weeks.
Man, I was in Jamaica.
Yeah, tell me.
Big song. Big song.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
8 weeks and number one. Yeah. And,
They gone wrong, remix, you know.
Yeah. Bob releases one about 3 times, tried to counteract it, but it didn't happen.
It did better than the Bob Marley song.
Yeah.
Bob Marley write it, record it, but Simran's own it.
The version was a hit, you know.
But you didn't get the publishing right on it, did you?
No, that was
Number one in Jamaica, not even get a dollar.
But what's quite fun about it is Simran's. I asked man if I do what song now, but I asked him to make long about that out it.
But in run Tommy.
So who was distributing the song in Jamaica?
Tammy Cowan. Talent.
So you don't get any money from him?
No, lump sum. It used to go to Jamaica, we did Jamaica. And
we didn't get no money at all, man.
Yeah, they did, no we got money. But we did the album out there. We did the album and the rock album, but we didn't get the money.
Okay.
Yeah, as usual, same story.
So you're not the only one didn't get the money.
No.
So Dennis said the same.
Yeah, same thing. Jamaicans get robbed, man.
So pleased to get in this studio.
Yeah, man, glad.
Song, but at the end of the day, you didn't get to pay your rent.
No, we didn't write this.
But tell me something, Simran, are you still touring?
No, not up to the moment. We're for it.
But the people are asking for them.
Exactly, that's why I asked you that question.
Yeah, we're for it. I mean...
Nobody not really coming to us.
No, I purchased it. Just one person purchased already for something for the new year, which is in the pipeline. So it might come together. And early January next year, there's something planned. You know, can't speak up with it because it's in the pipeline.
Pencil,
yeah.
Argument going
yeah. But the thing is, we just now we're getting a lot of feedback from abroad, like Brazil and Argentina. At the moment, we're working with a band in Argentina, a band who model themselves off Simran. They learn to play Simran, and Simran is the hero, you know. And the guy came to London early last year, and we did an album with him live. No digital thing, it's a live. We're going to studio, jump set up, and it's a collaboration. We take the Argentina and they put on their part. They send to England and we put on our part, and we've been working at that for the last.
We're going to send to Jamaica for somebody to put on Answer Calling.
It's got that artist in it.
But if you listen to what Dennis said earlier, so 2 places you mentioned in Brazil that reggae music is a cultural part of the life, that part, you know. I can't remember the name of the
San Luis and San Paulo.
San Paulo, yeah, yes.
So those two, San Luis and San Paulo.
Yeah, but there's a lot more other places, you know. Think a place in Belém or something like that. You know, they just love reggae music in Brazil, you know, all over. You know, but those is 2 popular places, Sao Paulo and San Luis.
Yeah. So I think you guys are getting ready for one more thing Dennis says, yeah? China is coming into it now.
Yes,
so.
and Russia.
And Russia.
I tell you this before you go. It was in Japan, if you know it, and with pioneers. I don't know the group that they mix in the wood and mix. And then mark. Next man when come again and move it, don't it? So you know, mark them, you know. And this place is big like the whole house then.
What do you mean when you do the sound check? The sound check. Okay.
Everything and set it.
And the night when you come to play, man, it go down good. But what is the main band come back the next day with 2 drummers.
And move up on the thing.
No, come on, find out how we get the bass drum so.
Okay.
All the bass and drums stay so. So they come back with 2 drummers and still couldn't get it. And call it Hatta music.
Yeah, reggae music, Hatta music, Hatta music.
Yeah, well, you see, that's a part of the Jamaica thing too, you know. You have an engineer at Studio One, you have Sylvian Morris, right? Is how you mic up the drums and the guitarists. That have a lot to do with the sound that you get, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
You understand?
Making up.
So that sound, no university can't give you that. You know? Experience over the years.
Experience over the years that come with it. Yeah?
I remember I went into Studio one day and Larry Marshall said to me, Dennis, I'm going to show you something, but don't tell nobody. Right? And the man go around the mic with a box of matches. Percussion. Joke is a tricks and trades, matches box in business.
Scratch, man.
We're getting some the real thing. We're not waiting to read this in no book.
Because some producers were really free out. Because Collins was a big producer in England, Sir Collins. And we went to the Collins one day and we wanted sound effect. And we just said, get a crate by the pub next door, get a crate a bottle. I start breaking them in the bin and mic'd up.
You thought it was crazy when MC Collins break the bottle.
Yeah.
It was your window.
It was breaking, I'm sound, it was mic'd up, sample sound, something back and break it, bash. And then put that in the record.
Different sounds,
you know?
And Lee Perry used to go in and toilet and flush it.
Mic'd up.
No, I tell you true, I enjoy working with him still.
Yeah, man, Perry.
Collins?
No, Perry.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Very inventive, man.
Yeah.
Full of.
He's always trying something.
Yeah, he's trying something different.
I do a song and him say no bass and that me hear, you know. You know the man come down and tune me guitar. Yeah, hear me guns? The man come and tune the guitar, back it off, you know.
The way I hear it.
And say, yes, bass, that's it. I say, it out that tune, him say, no.
When I hear the other tune sound, you know?
Yeah, some crazy thing going on.
Yeah, man. That's genius. They call it genius producers. They're genius. You know, they're creative, yeah. Very creative.
Well,
most of them are
say, yes. This is nice and sweet. The Rhythm of Life Reggae exhibition.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all very much.
The Rhythm of Life is alive.
It's alive.
Oh, fantastic. That is.
It can never die.
Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, man.
We can have many more like this.
Yeah, man.
Blessed.
When we reach 100.
Recording done? Just one comment. You see your name? That's a big name.
Yeah, but I'm free.
You talk about the Spanish, the Portuguese. Yeah, is where it actually come from.
Oh, yes.
In French, they use the term marron. Yeah. In English, they use the term maroon.
Maroon. Yes.
It all comes from the word cimarron.
Cimarrons. Yes.
Cimarron means maroon.
Maroon. Your brand stuff.
Yeah, but we have music out at the maroon.
Right. That's what it means. That's where maroon comes from the word cimarron. Yeah. It actually comes from the word cimarron.
Yeah,